Boys, girls, and MBs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations, welcome to the one and only Alec Gunter stream. My name is Alec Gunter. It is good to be here. I was very close to not streaming just because I procrastinated today a lot, which I usually do, but in my defense, I did procrastinate on something worthwhile this time. What the fuck is going on with that? Oh, that's not good. Okay, webcam's acting up. Hold on one second. Actually, I probably still need it on this screen. Give me a sec. I swear it was working before I started stream. Like, I checked to make sure everything's working, and for some reason I just can't catch a break. God damn it. The cursed Malamart song? Possibly. God damn it. Well, if all else fails, I can switch to the Logitech cam, but I'd really rather not do that because it's shit compared to my good one. Okay, let me try and plug it in and plugging it back in. There we go, okay. That's all I had to do. Ah, there's a weird line now. I think. Yeah, what the hell's up with that? Is it just when I move? I think when it's focusing, it has that weird line thing going on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does it look okay? I think it looks fine. 1960s tele camera. Is it doing the thing that I think it's doing? Like, are you guys getting that on the output? We brought in a total of $725 during the stream. Thanks for asking. Hey, that's awesome, Queen Laura. Real quick, if you drop the link, I can shill it real quick. Your GoFundMe. Queen Laura's doing a GoFundMe to get out of one's toxic state that one lives in. Oklahoma, I believe. I only see it if I focus. I'll try it one more time to unplug it and plug it back in. It's gonna look like I reappear in my chair because it's frozen. There we go. Okay. Whatever happened. Yeah, it's still doing it. It's really bad. It's really bad. Hold on. I switched its port. Let's see if that does it. I think that fixed it. Nope, it did not. Whatever. If you don't think, if you put it on the small screen thing, yeah, I don't think we'd even notice. Yeah, I guess it's not like a big deal. Especially if I'm up here. But like, I don't know. I hate shit like that. In site chat, you'll find Queen Laura's GoFundMe. I'll also put it in the other chats as well. Oops. And in this chat, what I really need is just an upgraded computer. My computer's she's done me well, but she's getting old. I need to just either gut it and get all new parts or build a new one. I think it's time. That's such a hassle to do, though. My God. Vaporwave Gunter. It is a little bit vaporwavy, isn't it? I don't know. It has a certain charm to it. I don't hate it. It's just like, I get peeved whenever things don't go the way that I want them to, and that's one of those things that's like small enough to grate me. Okay, well, my comment went through on YouTube. Hopefully it did on Twitch. Okay. To be honest, I don't know how long I'm gonna go today. It'll depend on whether or not Katie wants to watch One Piece with me. We're all caught up on the anime. Besides, she doesn't want to watch subs. She does not want to watch subs, so we strictly watch dub. And we strictly watch dub, so we're caught up on that. But like, we wanted to go back and rewatch Water 7, so that's what we're doing. I haven't started. How fucked am I? It's not too late to start. To start One Piece? Will you check out the topic of covering the Election Truth Alliance? The hell is that? The ETA. Election analysis. Ensuring fair and transparent results. This website uses cookies? Sure. You can have my cookies. Was the election rigged?
Kaylee,
It's an hour and a half.
I know these stories are hard.
The official YouTube channel of comedian Christopher Titus. What is with comedians being part, like conservative comedians being part of these fucking political groups? Like, I can never remember his name. The based comedian. I always want to say Ricky Gervais. I know it's not that fucker Ricky Gervais. Because I think that guy that I'm thinking of. Bill Burr, thank you. I think of Bill Burr, like his face. I can't remember his name. And then the first comedian's name that comes to my mind is Ricky Gervais. And so I constantly ascribe Bill Burr's face to, I just said it, Ricky Gervais. Like his name. And it's very unsettling, because Ricky Gervais sucks as a person. He's a human scumbag. They're making the claim that Kamala may have won. Really? I thought he was like a conservative comedian. I still think it's kind of weird to be like a comedian who's in charge of a political like organization. I'm not taking that back. Like, even if you're a leftist or whatever. And also, like, I'm sorry. The election, like, this sounds like liberal bullshit. Like, this sounds like Blue Anon. Like, the elections in the United States are not rigged. Like, they are, but that's all done in a legal way beforehand. Like, it's all above board. Everybody sees it and they just accept it. In a way that people don't accept the rigging, that does not happen. Like, not really. It's just like... it doesn't matter either. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's say they're correct. Now what? Like, George Bush literally stole the election in 2000. Nobody cared. He's not. He's hosting them. Oh, he's hosting them. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Kaylee, they're obvious.
Well, what are they saying?
Helping the economy and $1 trillion in taxes. As I say on my new show, we don't need to build a wall. We need to build a train. We need to get more of them here to get this debt paid down.
And if they want to give the money, the tax cuts to the billionaires, hey.
I just think that if we're deporting people that were birthed by immigrants that are felons that have a criminal record, wouldn't we just deport
Yeah, because
Trump?
Trump's mom
Right.
was an immigrant.
Exactly.
And also Barron too has to go.
This seems boring, not gonna lie. They supposedly have election data from some swing states. It doesn't matter. Like, you're wasting time and effort on this. If like you're honestly getting into this blue anon, they stole the election type shit. Like, it's just not conducive. There is no earthly shot, even if they did rig it, that changes anything. Like, it's not like we're suddenly going to be like, oh my god, Kamala Harris is actually president now. Like, that doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong, I think the truth should be out there. But, like, as a political movement, it's not feasible right now. Like, it's not useful right now to you know, get weird about that. It angers me to think about the 2000 election. I don't even know, like, the details of how it was stolen. I just know a lot of people that I trust tell me that it was, so I trust them. Like, I know that they, like, hid ballots or some shit, but that's all I know. Oh. Is Guitar Rocker here? I don't think so. It doesn't matter. I really want to show you guys Guitar Rocker's gift. Like, I've already spoiled what it is, but Guitar Rocker has not seen it yet. So, like, I'm not sure if I want to show it or not. I'm not sure if I want to show... Fuck it. Guitar Rocker's not here. We'll make it quick. Boom. He is done. One blue regard, one parentheses one blue regard Q kazoo. With movable arms. It's rad as fuck, thank you. Boom. Secret door, secret door, secret door, secret door, secret door, secret door. So yeah, that's what I was working on for the morning. I worked on it for like 2 hours and just finished it. I just blew through it. Blew through it. But yeah, so the eyes are yarn, of course. In the middle is like a little button eye. And then that's felt right there. So. Pretty cool, right? But yeah, that's done. And if Guitar Rocker shows up, we tell them not to rewind. Unless they want to see it. If they really want to see it, I'll leave that up to them. And then I wanted to work on this today. For those who don't know, this is Gimmighoul, the Pokemon. So I wanted to work on it more today, but I realized I had the wrong color gray from the store. So I returned that, got the correct silver color, and now I can continue working on it. Although I don't know, I'm not that passionate about this one, because Gimmighoul is not really my favorite Pokemon or anything. He is cute, he's just like very simple, and so I was like, that's great practice. I don't have the proper colors to make something that I actually care about, so I'll just start on Gimmighoul. It's gonna be cute though when it's done. Have you listened to the J.B. Pritzker speech yet? No. I don't know who J.B. Pritzker is. I know, like, their name. I don't know what they do. You will find that for a politics live streamer, I am woefully... woefully undereducated about our politicians. There was one more thing. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I worked on this today. So this egg-shaped thingy... oblongly egg-shaped thingy is going to be Ice Cube, the Pokemon, if you know who that is. And if you don't, I'll pull up a picture, so don't worry about it. But yeah, not very exciting on that one yet. It's basically just a black vase at this point, but filled with stuffing. But I'll show you Ice Cube real quick so you can see what I'm getting at. Okay, so this is Ice Q. This is, of course, his ice form. And then this is Ice Q's no ice form. Which happens after they get hit once. So my plan is to attempt to make this... I want to make it so that the ice cube thingy is removable. One person I've seen that I've searched has done it before. But that's all I could find. One person has made a crocheted removable ice cube head. So that's what I want to go for. And that's going to be my other brother's birthday gift. And since my other brother doesn't watch the stream, he won't know. And then nobody tell Katie. But what I plan to make her... Now, I showed her... So, when Blue here... I won't show you because I don't know if Guitar Rocker's going to show up. But when Blue was just like the pill-shaped guy, you know, like without the arms or the eyes. He was just a pill shape, but blue. I showed it to Katie, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love this shape. So Katie really wants, like, a pink pillow in that shape, like a cylindrical pillow with red hearts on it. Because that's, like, not because she's a girl or anything. That's ridiculous. Just because she's not a girl, she's non-binary. But it's because Corazon from One Piece... That's kind of his shirt. So she basically said, make a pillow that matches his shirt. Would you ever do Gunter from Adventure Time? That's actually a really cute one. I might do that one. That one would be really easy, actually. Yeah, that one would be really easy. Technically, he also has feet. I guess sometimes they're showing, sometimes not. Hello, Mr. Anti-Fascism. Have you heard about RFK Jr. ending the Narcan program? No. That sounds really stupid. I mean, RFK is just going to take away everything that is even slightly reasonable. He's proven that. It's really bad. NDP being wiped out yesterday. That's the Canada thing, right? Because I did hear about that. Which is pretty cool. I just wish that it were a leftist and not a liberal. I'm just like, I'm so tired of liberals, man. I'm tired. Like, I'm reaching that point where it's like, I know that a liberal president would have obviously been better, but also, like, I don't want to be stuck in this fucking endless cycle of, liberals don't do enough, conservatives make shit worse, liberals don't do enough to fix it, conservatives make it worse, and then we get another, like, we're in a catastrophic state right now, right, after that cycle going on for decades and decades and decades, and then finally... At the end of this, what do we get? You know, like, we're gonna get another fucking liberal who's gonna not do enough to make things better. And then we'll get Trump on steroids. I know that's very doomer of me, but, like, seriously, if we don't at least get somebody, like, half as good as AOC into the president's seat, like, something's gotta give, man. Something has got to give. Where'd you place Xi Jinping? I've heard that person is cringe from some sources, but also based from other sources, so I have no opinion. Because any opinion I give would be the wrong one, so I refuse to give one. Okay. So the J.B. Pritzker speech. J.B. Pritzker speech. I saw people covering this guy. Oh yeah, that's who he is. He's like a base Democrat, right? Like he's not quite AOC or Bernie, but he's like better. That's pretty cool. I would take a JB Pritzker presidency. Just based off of that alone. I'm a single issue voter. If you can make me feel good once, I will vote for you. Are there any like actual left-wing parties in the USA? I mean, I almost said National Socialist Party. Lol. What is it called? The Democratic Socialists of America, DSA. They're not perfect, but they're a left-wing party. Yeah, they exist. I don't know if the DSA is technically considered a party, but it is at least like an organization that is left-wing around which people organize and push for progressive candidates. So like, it could be a party, conceivably, at some point. I don't know much about the, like, I know some stuff about the DSA. You'll find I don't know much about many things. Okay. I have... Should I pull from the suggestion box? The party leader, Jugmeat Singh, stepped down because of it. Oh, yeah, the NDP, yeah. That was like the progressive party, right. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, from what I understand, a long time coming. So, whatever. Shit is what it is. As long as there is a first past the post system, it was going to be a two-party system, period. You cannot have, like, you could technically, I guess, at least for a little bit, have like a three-party system or a four-party system even, but like, eventually it boils down to two parties because, like, you know, only one wins. Like, you can only vote for one of them, and whoever gets the most votes wins. So, like, you're gonna pick the one that has the best chance of winning, who is not the bad guy. The party even lost official party status. Damn, that's pretty bad. Okay, I'm gonna take one from the suggestion box. Because I'm bored and need... I need bad takes. This one's from the Juice Box on Discord. You too can join the Discord by following the link in the description or using the QR code that Dubsy loves to leave on the screen. Unless Guitar Rocker edits this, then use the link in the description. Anyway, this is from the Juice Box. It is called "The Reason Why the Left Can't Stop Siding with Demons." We have, as soon as I open the, here, actually, let's take a look at the Arch cast, shall we? Is it the Arch or the Arc? I'm gonna go with the Arch cast. Current events in gaming culture, news, reviews, and commentary. Delivered, with no E, with rolling R's and a passion for the subject. I cannot roll my R's, unfortunately. The Pride must be banned from all public buildings in Norway and in every nation. Jesus Christ. The reason why the left can't stop siding with demons. This one's more recent. What do you guys want? You want to watch the more recent one, or you want to watch the one about the demons? They both sound interesting. They're both about the same length. Also, I think arresting judges is a good thing, so that's cool. Maybe we should watch the demon one. I think that, yeah, the demon one has quite a bit of views compared to the others. We're gonna go with the demon one.
Again? You cannot be serious.
Oh, he's a Brit bonger?
3 times in as
Oh, yeah, it says, we fight our oppressors, we drink the pleasures of life, we change what is wrong, we are part of nature. Queer chaos forever. Sounds based.
many weeks. Wokeism try not to identify with actual demons from hell challenge, difficulty rating literally unironically impossible, as it turns out. As here we
Oh no, he takes forever to say things. This is gonna take a while.
have a pride flag with Korn, Slanesh, Zinch, and Nurgle combined to queer chaos forever. This coming hot on the heels of the
Dude, if there's anybody who's like representative of Nurgle, and if you don't know who Nurgle is, I think it's a war. I don't know why I know this, but like Nurgle is like a god figure, I think, from Warhammer, who basically is a god of pestilence and disease or whatever. Like he's basically a god of filth. And if anybody represents that, it's going to be Asmongold. Okay, I'm sorry. Asmongold is Nurgle's prophet.
Devil May Cry anime, declaring that demons are just brown people that want to live in America, and that it is wrong for the United States to bomb the shit out of hell. This seemed ridiculous. Who could ever assume that bombing hell could be a bad thing, unless we remember that the week before that again, trench crew.
Well, what did hell do to provoke that? That's what I want to know. Like, I want to know the geopolitics of what hell did to provoke such a bombing. Yeah, it could be justified, but I'd want to know what they did.
Crusade came out and said, oh no. There's no clear good and evil in our setting. I mean, yes, flail-cocked rape demons from the third circle of Infernum are indeed rising up on Earth to pillage, violate, and eat every single human soul on the planet, but
I haven't heard of this.
Don't you know?
I must be watching the wrong news channels because I haven't heard of this happening yet.
The Christians are doing some pretty mean things in order to live. Oh, well. Complete.
In order to live? Is it like keeping gay people from getting married? Is that in order to live? Is keeping trans women out of the bathrooms a thing you do in order to live? Is, what else do they do? Is, beating your kids for, like, not, praying at night, something you do to live? You know, like, at what point... Like, if that's something you absolutely need to do to live, I understand. But, like, I don't think that that's the case.
Moral equivalence there, and no doubt about it. You know, when I first started talking about Trench Crusade and how
This guy's a legit Nazi. He used to show it more, but Nazis started to get banned, so he's more like the quartering. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
it seems as if the developers
Cool.
of that
Good to
game
know.
identify more with the demons than the Christians. I felt like I was stretching a little bit, you know? I generally
That's not necessarily a bad thing, just like narratively speaking, right? Like, you always expect the demons to be the bad guys, but like sometimes the demons being the good guy is pretty cool and subversive. You know, it's artistic. It's just like fiction, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you're meant to sympathize with the demons, maybe there's a good reason for that.
felt like that. Okay, this is a little bit of a crazy hypothesis, but I can see the patterns. Well, it's not a stretch anymore, is it? It was turned into a slow, you know, little bit of a hands out there to barely even a motion in less than a month.
Huh?
Okay, right. So, we are actually going to have to explain this. How you can create stuff like this.
I have killed 10,000 striking workers, brother. This is good. We are the good guys. What does that say? Something me bring oppressors. Help me, I'm being oppressed by the woke mob. Who's saying that? I'm a little lost here. Who's saying, help, I'm being oppressed by the woke mob? Is it these guys? I'm not a fan of Warhammer from an artistic standpoint. The bulky armors just seem so impractical and silly to me. I mean, I never got into it. I don't like it or dislike it. It's just not something I ever got into.
Where the gene stealer cults are striking
I don't understand the meme though. Sorry.
workers. How this can actually happen? How does anyone actually identify with evil? How is that possible? Surely anyone would look at something like this and go, I'm not identifying with the bad guys, that's insane. I'm not going to declare the child-eating Eldritch abomination.
Look at the PFP on that tweet. Oh yeah, like it's some kind of fucking... Like, if you see, like, a really standard, like, medieval-looking insignia on somebody's Twitter account, that usually is a pretty good indicator that they're a Nazi.
Look at something like this and go, I'm not identifying with the bad guys, that's insane. I'm not going to declare the child-eating Eldritch abomination from It a queer icon because it makes my movement look really, really bad. I am not going...
Wait. We've identified, like, Disney villains as queer icons since forever. Like, Scar, absolutely gay-coded. You know, and that was almost done on purpose, mind you. Like, Disney... Isn't this... If this is a conspiracy theory... I can't talk. If this is a conspiracy theory, then somebody correct me. But I'm pretty sure that, like, making villains super flamboyant and over the top and acting gay, quote unquote, like, was kind of the point. You know, like, that was considered, like, a grandiose, bad type of thing to do. That was because of the Hays Code. What was? Disney has a history of making their villains queer-coded, yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
To embrace...
Like, what I'm saying is, gay people don't have... The queers have no problem, like, identifying with villains or bad people. Because sometimes those bad people are fun. Like, obviously, Ursula from... is it Ursula, right? From Little Mermaid, is a bad person. But, like, she's also fun. Like, she's not... Like, she's fun, she's emotional, she's dramatic, she's great. Like, she's a delight to have on screen. Every time she's on screen, you know something, like, you know you're about to be entertained. There are good qualities of somebody who is entirely irredeemable because it's a character. Like, it's just fiction.
The name of feminines, because it makes me look really, really bad, and yet that is all in a day's work of modern-day progressivism. Okay, so to actually explain this properly, this comes from Sig-Marxism. Sig-Marxism is a extreme left-wing Reddit website that has been sadly dormant for a rather long time. Tragic, because it was a prime content farm.
You heard him, folks. Get over to r/Sig-Marxism and make it pop again.
This was the post.
If it's not, like, filled with, you know, illegal material or anything, like Jailbait was. If it's not, like, weird, go means test it and then contribute. Go check it out first.
In the Imperium, death to
just
all
to make sure that you're not
1,000 upvotes, which is
in a weird
pretty good
space
for a basically dead subreddit. This subreddit has a few rules, like don't punch left. This is a space for all leftists, not a place to resolve differences between tendencies. Because when you're arguing about which flavor of fascism you prefer, you're gonna get a lot of infighting amongst the tankies and the anarchists and the communists, etc.
I would be curious as to what they consider punching left. Like, is it punching left for me to say that, like, you know, tankies are cringe? Like if they allow tankies there, then that's probably not a good thing.
Except from liberals, of course, who are exempt from Rule 2. You can punch liberals all you want, because at the end of the day, they're only really useful idiots for the march of far more extreme left-wingism.
But if you're a socialist punching, like, rhetorically towards a liberal, you're not punching left. So it's not breaking the rule.
So, how does this lead us to the identification with evil? Well, it's all in the...
So he's calling the left fascist? Of course he is. That's classic projection.
title right there. No pride in the Imperium, death to all emperors. In 40k, the established world order is, of course, the Imperium. What is considered normal is to go, yeah, Khorne, who kills everyone, who cares not from whence the blood flows, who is nothing but a bloodthirsty, monstrous, demonic deity, is not a good thing. However, to progressivism, it is a good thing.
I don't know enough about Warhammer 40k to, like... I feel like I would do a better job covering the other video. Like, the pride must be banned from all public buildings in Norway and in every nation. I'm going to switch over to that one.
It's time.
And I'm going to restart the recording. Actually, you know what? I'll just send both to Dubsy and let them handle it. Sorry, Dubsy. I am starting up here. I'm not redoing the entire intro segment that I did. So edit this however you feel you must.
It's time for Norwegian.
We're watching this one instead. The pride must be banned from all public buildings in Norway and in every nation. I just feel like I'm not very, I'm not well educated enough to talk about Warhammer 40k, so I'm not going to. I think that this is more up my alley.
It's time for Norwegian news. The best kind of news. Especially as today we're talking about banning the pride flag. I imagine you can already suss out my position on the topic.
Yeah, because you hate free speech.
I am all for banning the pride flag. And the Sami one too, which we'll get to in a second, but it is almost the 17th of May. That is Norway's national holiday, when we told the Swedes to go eat shit and give us back our independence. And if they didn't like it, they could declare war on us. The Swedes, with predictable cowardice, declined. As they hadn't taken us by force, they had been given suzerainty over us by the equally shit-eating Danes.
I don't know anything about this history from over there in Euroland, but I'm going to go ahead and say that everything he's saying is a fascist lie and you should do your own research.
Who had gained control over us after most of our adult population died during the Black Plague. Norway surrounded by inferior creatures, both morally, intellectually, and spiritually.
This guy sucks. I hate the way he talks.
So, approaching the national holiday, the debate always arises as to, hey, could we allow flags that aren't Norway's on Norway's birthday? The answer is no. Idiot.
Why?
And that should be the end of it.
So what happens if you fly like the American flag on Norway Day? Do you get arrested? Like, do you go to jail? I think that's stupid. Like, if you like America, if you're a Marabou, whatever, and you want to fly your American flag and you don't know that it's Norway Day because you, like, just moved there or whatever, you should not be arrested for that. Like, unless that's...
flags that aren't Norway.
I'll be charitable and say that he's strictly talking about public buildings, which also I just don't care that much.
On Norway's birthday? The answer is no.
I can understand a little bit better why on Norway's birthday you'd want to exclusively fly Norway's flag. I can understand the reasoning behind that one at least, but like also I just don't care that much.
Idiot. And that should be the end of it. And yet, every goddamn year, it pops up yet again, as now we're debating whether or not we should have pride flags on the 17th of May and in Norwegian governmental buildings and schools. See, it used to be illegal to raise any flags over, Norwegian governmental property that wasn't Norwegian. Strange,
that sounds really stupid.
Why would a
and
nationality,
antiquated.
a nation, wish to fly its own flag instead of others? Downright.
That's crazy. Like, that'd be like if, imagine if you live in America and you decide, like, you're from Canada and you decide to, like, fly a Canadian flag outside of your house because you want, like, you're proud of being from Canada, which you should be right now, at least more so than being in America. You're proud to be from Canada, so you fly the Canadian flag outside of your house and you get fucking arrested for it? Like, no. That's silly. The only flags I would say should, like, you could make a solid case for being illegal are the ones that absolutely represent hate and genocide and slavery and violence, such as the Nazi flag and the Confederate flag. But even those, I'm not sure if I want to make those illegal because, like, I don't... I'd have to sit down and think about my stance on that one. But those are the two that you could make a solid case for making illegal.
Strange. And yet, that was the law until we changed it specifically to allow for the pride flag. Now the debate is raging yet again, so let me translate this into Norwegian, shall we? As we have one point of view here saying, no, only use the Norwegian flag, and another going, nah, we're in Pridey-stan now, not Norway. So, the Norwegian flag is a unifying and inclusive...
Okay, but you can be from Norway and also be gay. Like, you know that's a thing that's possible, right? You can fly a pride flag. In fact, I would argue that you're being more inclusive because you're saying, no, it's not just the straight, cishet, white Norwegians that we care about. It's like all the Norwegians, everybody who lives here. The pride flag makes sure that everybody's represented. So I'd say it's even more patriotic to fly the pride flag alongside the Norwegian flag, personally.
Symbol. Children need to learn and experience both love and tolerance. Reserving public school flagpoles for the Norwegian and Sami flag in no way contradicts this. I'm all for banning the Sami flag as well, incidentally, because this is not Samistan either. It is Norway.
I need to look up what the Sami flag is. Or is it Sami? The Sami flag is the flag of Sapmi and the Sami people, one of the indigenous people groups of the Nordic countries and Kola Peninsula of the Russian Federation. I should have figured that it was a fucking indigenous flag. Yeah, that checks out.
Despite...
Again, flying it alongside Norway would ensure that, like, no, we're also including the native peoples of Norway.
Plus pieces of evidence to the contrary, as the Sami populace still has more rights than the Norwegians do, but details.
Like what?
Details. On the contrary, the Norwegian...
I don't even know anything about it. I doubt he's right. He might literally be right, but I'd like to know what he thinks, like, how he thinks native people have more rights than he does. Like, I don't know anything about the region. There might be a legitimate claim to that, but I have never heard of this happening, ever.
Norwegian flag is a symbol of unity for everyone living in Norway, regardless of background, identity, or political
Calling it a stand is a racist dog whistle. Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
stance. So immediately we are attempting to outflank the left from the left. I don't believe this is a good argument, because it was always fall prey to the left-wing argument. It is a kind argument, it is a nice argument, but the correct argument is, of course, we live in Norway. Shut up. This flag...
Yeah, and gay people and trans people live there too, and so do native peoples. They should all be represented.
Represent diversity, fundamental freedoms, and our liberal democracy. It is inclusive and symbolizes the best things about Norway, a free country with freedom of expression, diversity of opinion, and the right to love whoever you want. This also is true. Norway is an incredibly liberal nation. A little bit too much, as those very liberties
I was just gonna say, I wonder what this guy thinks about that. Yeah, you fucking hate your country, man.
are now being taken advantage of.
Can't fool me.
They go on to argue a little bit about...
This funny, it's because, like, with nationalists, it's always like, I love my country, but also I hate everything about it. Like, I love the idea of what my country could be if it were a white ethno-state, right? Like, if only, right? Oh, woe is me, a white man living in America. If only I could have lived in the 1800s and known the sweet, life of a slave owner. You know, those were the days. That's when America was great. That's what we got to go back to. But, you know, these days, like, yeah, I still love America, sure. But, like, boy, it could be so much better if only it were, like, 10 times worse for most of the people here.
About this. I don't necessarily think all rainbow activists who have fought for political change in recent decades would disagree with any of this. He's talking about, like, the privileges that people have in Norway. Today, the rainbow flag is closely associated with the Free Association, which owns and organizes most of the Pride celebrations in Norway, and which promotes a political platform with demands for, amongst other things, surrogacy, liberalization of gender reassignment, and the abolition of the Sex Purchase Act.
What's the liberalization of gender reassignment? A political platform with demands for, among other things, surrogacy. I see nothing wrong with that. Liberalization of gender reassignment. What does that mean? Like, I don't... Gender reassignment should not be involved in politics at all. It's just a fucking, like, not even a medical procedure necessarily. It's literally just somebody, like, deciding one day that they're not the gender they were born as, or not the gender they were assigned at birth. Like, that's all it is. So if you're talking about, like, if you're talking about, like, just making people allowed to do that, like, yeah, that's a good thing.
So this is an interesting little thing, as of course, the pride flag has nothing to do with simply being allowed to love whoever you want anymore. At one point, it may have stood for that, and even that is somewhat dubious considering the origins and the nature of things like the Stonewall riots and so on. But these days, it is a political movement first and foremost. With free...
It's only political because you assholes made it political. Like, if you just let gay people get married in the first place, and let trans people do their thing in the first place and wear whatever goddamn clothes they want and use whatever bathroom they want, then we wouldn't have to have a fucking flag. Y'all played yourselves.
This organization, of course, being an explicitly political one, advocating largely for, giving humanitarian aid to LGBT people, for jobs for LGBTQ people, etc., etc. So, it's yet another progressive organization that is arguing
Sounds good.
for the further advantagement of progressives.
Sounds good.
Surprising, indeed.
This guy's really boring.
How completely out of
I'm giving him like
left
one more
field.
minute, but I'm bored.
It's weird how all left-wing advocacy groups always ends up arguing for something for which they will be the direct beneficiary.
Yeah, because left-wing groups fight for fucking everybody, including you, by the way. Like, if you're conservative, I know things are good in Norway, but if you lived in the United States of America and you, like, I don't know if you've ever been here or like seen what our healthcare is like or like had to pay for a fucking medical procedure. Excuse me. But my understanding in Norway is that you don't have to, or at least if you do, it's very cheap. I don't know how their healthcare system works exactly, but I understand the Norwegian model is far, far better than the United States model. So like we're way to the right of you guys on that front. So like I'm just saying that progressives also fight for your interests. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like some of these people need to be dragged kicking and screaming into a better world. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Wow. It's kind of like the entire thing is a scam, but hey, details.
Also, it doesn't like negatively impact you at all for like gay people to get married or trans people to be accepted as the gender that they are. It doesn't negatively impact you at all. So why do you give a shit?
Today is of course legitimate for free to promote its views. It is an important part of a vibrant democracy. At the same time, we believe there are good reasons to be cautious about raising what many also perceive as a political flag. Again, it's not perceived, it is a political flag.
I don't care what people fucking perceive it as. All the flag means is that gay people are welcome, trans people are welcome, and you are welcome as long as you're not a piece of shit. It is a flag that welcomes everybody, especially communities who have historically been not treated very well by broader society.
KRF, which is the
particularly the gay and
Norway,
trans communities,
wants the main rule of the Flag Act to apply to schools and kindergartens, as the situation was before 2021. This means the Norwegian and Sami flag should be used on public flagpoles. This does not imply a ban on the rainbow flag, nor is it an expression of any form of culture war or Hungarian conditions, as some have claimed. This, incidentally, is why Norway is still stuck in 2014. Even the most strident opponents of progressivism in Norway still attempt to outflank the left from the left, using the left's lingo. I kind of do agree that that's annoying. You just come out and say that you fucking hate gay people like this guy does. You know? Like, at least, like, he hasn't said anything quite like that yet, but I'm sure that, like, he wouldn't be afraid of saying, yeah, you know, like, I hate those queers and how they can get married sometimes to each other. Values and the left's ideas to try and go, hey, but these are your principles too. Don't you like them? To which they go, no, I'm a progressive. I have no standards.
I have actually very high standards for myself and the people around me.
No principles. I have no morality.
If you think that leftists have no principles, like, I think that a lot of conservatives do have principles. They're just not very good ones. Like the family unit, or like preserving the core family, like the nuclear family. That's a principle. I'll say that a lot of conservatives do have principles. They're just shit principles. I think if you're accusing leftists of not having principles, then you're just not arguing in good faith.
Whoa. What was the... Oh, yes, the Voshian quote. My principles is to win.
True.
It's as simple as that. You cannot outflank the left from the left. You cannot appeal to their values. You cannot appeal to their standards.
You can
because
actually.
They have...
It's very simple. Just say that trans people are valid and gay people can get married. That's all people really ask for.
Of none.
And it usually helps also to be in favor of good things like housing the homeless, giving public health care, immigration is a big one. Like there are other policies as well, but like in general, if you fall on the right side on one of them, unless you're a liberal, you tend to fall on the right side of all of them.
This was then opposed
the correct
by
side,
a similar
I should say.
piece. Now, normally in Norwegian newspapers, the left is simply allowed to write whatever the hell it wants, so the fact that there was indeed an opposition piece to this is remarkable, although this is far more so the responding part. Right, let's translate that.
The lefts can write whatever they want.
Children do not need protection from love and...
If they wanted to, they could even try to convince people that immigrants were eating dogs and cats. Like, they could do that if they wanted to, the left. Those leftists, them. Ooh, I hate them. Ooh, I hate them and their lies, and their ridiculous lies that they tell all the time. Ooh, those leftists.
Should not be protected from intolerance.
They can say whatever they want.
And arguments that
unlike us.
Hateful currents. And there we are. You appeal to the left's standards.
Jewish space lasers.
With victimhood. 3 years ago, 2 hearts stopped beating, 21 were injured, and hundreds ran for their lives. The man who opened fire on people outside the London pub in Oslo attacked love and freedom to live as oneself. It's stirring rhetoric. You can't deny it. It is full of emotion, pathos. It is about human lives. We stand for kindness. How will you deny us the ability to be alive?
What's crazy is this guy is emoting. He's trying to be charismatic. Like, I don't understand, though. Even I don't understand why it's not landing. Like, he's not interesting. He's trying very hard to be interesting, at the very least. Like, he has something on the quartering, at least, in that regard. But it's just not interesting. Why does he sound like he's trying to impersonate Matt Berry? I don't know who that is, but I'll believe you.
Of course, the person who conducted this terrorist attack was a Muslim. And you're arguing against the Christian.
Oh no, bro.
Details.
Well, we gotta deport all the Muslims now. Like, because one of them did something bad, now we have to deport all of them. Which is the same thing I would, of course, say for white people, of course. Because that is, that would be consistent. Except I won't, because I'm a piece of shit. So, yeah, deport all the Muslims because one of them committed a crime. Good stuff.
And again, it simply goes to show
right, buddy?
You can't use logic on these people. It can't be a debate. You simply must say, no, the Norwegian flagpoles owned by the government of Norway will only fly the Norwegian flag, period. And when they go, oh, but what about tolerance?
How about this? I don't give a fuck what you think. We're going to fly the gay flag, not even just on that one flagpole. We're going to set up 10 more flagpoles, all flying different flags of different gay communities. The ace community, the lesbian community, the trans community, the specifically trans mass community and trans femme community, the male gay community, the blue and white stripes, the furry community. We'll put one up there for them. Why not? Like, we'll put up so many pride flags that your Norwegian flag will be crowded out and snuffed out. How about that? Shove it up your ass.
No, screw you. It's that simple. You cannot have a debate here. Last year, Dad ordered emotional appeal, emotional appeal, emotional appeal, emotional appeal. You get the drift. Although the suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts are considerably higher among queer people, including trans.
Here, hold on. What's the emotional appeal he's referring to? Boy, son's class has been told he wasn't allowed to play with him because he has gay parents. In a video Amnesty published last year, 18-year-old Alexandra talks about a tough adolescence after people found out she liked girls. She experienced being pushed in front of a car, being beaten, spat on, and having her things stolen. I mean, you can call that an emotional appeal if you want, and certainly it is, but it's an anecdote, sure. But like the thing about anecdotes is you give a couple, right? You give a few, and then you back it up with a larger data point to show that this is happening on a broad scale and that these are not just 3 completely isolated events. This is something that, normal reporters and leftists are very good at doing, but for some reason not conservatives. Because they have no actual data to back up anything that they're trying to say.
Last year, Dad ordered emotional.
They only
appeal,
give
emotional
anecdotes.
Emotional appeal.
But it's not emotional appeal when they do it.
Appeal. You get the drift. Although
it wasn't emotional appeal or an anecdote to say, well, that one person who did that was Muslim, by the way, just so you know.
the suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts are considerably higher among queer people, including trans. See, there's a little thing here. With that as a backdrop, it only becomes extra sad that Quad F wants to introduce a national ban on schools raising the rainbow flag to protect school management, principals, and children when they are the place they are most apart from their own home. So, the argument here is that we must have the pride flag so that people can feel safe. Again,
Correct.
The Norwegian flag already does this. Norwegian law.
Incorrect. Nope, I don't buy that. Ask queer people, okay? Ask queer people. This is a matter of feeling safe. This is literally a matter of feelings. Ask queer people if they feel safe around the Norwegian flag. Like, if somebody's flying the Norwegian flag, do they feel safe and protected in that area? Ask them. Because apparently not, because enough of them are advocating that we also show pride flags. Like, if the Norwegian flag were enough to replace the pride flag, then it would.
Already does this. Norwegian laws already outlaws crimes against people based on their status of gender, religiosity, or sexuality. You already have all of the protection you could ever ask for. And
Right, so that means when somebody is wearing the Norwegian flag, they're going to follow all the laws of Norway, right? That's definitely every time you see a guy wearing an American flag, I always notice that he is following the American laws that we've set in place. So I have no fear that anybody wearing an American flag will commit any crimes ever. It's crazy how that works.
And if indeed suicides, blah blah blah, everything is just terrible for pride people, for LGBTQ people, even though you live in one of the most progressive nations on earth, none of your progressive nonsense appears to have done anything to fix that. The pride flag in schools hasn't fixed that. Countless pride programs hasn't fixed that. Hate crime laws punishing people more harshly for going after you, giving you the status of a privileged class, hasn't fixed that.
Let's look something up. Hate crimes against queer people, Norway, over time. Let's see if we can find something on that. I'll just take this. Number of reported hate crimes in Norway from 2015 to 2023. So there have been an increase in hate crimes for sure. It's not a matter of the flag's presence necessarily fixing these hate crimes. But like the fact that you don't want them up indicates a lot, right? Like if it shouldn't be a problem. If you don't want the flag up, you clearly think there's a problem with the flag, and that attitude, having a problem with the pride flag or with gay or trans people, leads to hate crimes. I can't explain. I don't know Norway's politics. I can't explain why it's been going up like this. But if you want them to start going down, a good start is to normalize being gay and trans. And part of that is allowing their flag to be present in classrooms and in other places. Like, do you really think, like, these hate crimes will start going down if we make pride flags illegal? Like, I'm not saying, again, that the pride flags are fixing it. It's just that you wanting them down is a symptom of the larger problem.
That. And
I'm kind of bored of him. I think I'm going to stop. The Archcast sucks. That is my conclusion of this React segment. My whole city has them up based. Yeah, there will be gay flags on government buildings, and we add 5 more every time you complain about it. Exactly. Okay, enjoy the music. I'm going to take a brief break. I will be right back.
Treasure, tell me what I've really used you for.
I return. Hello. You should totally react to Lila Rose's interview with an old detransitioner. I posted that GoFundMe link forever ago. Do we really have, like, nothing going on in YouTube chat, or did I just lose a bunch of it somehow? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I got one. What's this? Well. Let's just have a look at what you have here, Kerbal.
How many?
30 minutes. Does Sydney Watson have anything shorter? I've heard of this person. Here we go, from 2 days ago. This one's a little shorter. I probably won't watch the whole thing. They're lengthy. It's fine. These are going to be way back in the backlog anyway. We're actually quite behind in terms of raw content. Let me look up Lila Rose's interview with a detransitioner first. Not Chloe Cole. Okay, it's someone else. For 2 hours? Oh, no, not this guy. Walt Hayer? I hate him. He's like a fucking detrans man who found God or whatever, and now he's going around saying that, like, trans people are evil and shit. Disgusting. What is the Cali bill that I'm hearing about people mad about? I couldn't find stuff online without it being biased stuff. I have no idea. Actually. We're gonna run with Sydney Watson. I have heard of this person, Sydney Watson. 1.03 million subscribers on YouTube. Very important doctor. Australian/American political commentator. I talk about things that interest me. I don't think I've ever covered Sydney Watson. I know of her existence. I don't know much about her besides her being a right-winger, as demonstrated by... hold on, I have to sneeze. Ugh. As demonstrated by the array of videos here to pick from. We will be picking The Trans Movement Continues to Implode. It's a bit lengthy. Not sure if I'm going to watch the whole thing, but
I'm a trans woman.
Okay, hold up.
And I'm proud.
I want to introduce Grace Thomas.
Beautiful.
She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace?
Oh, this fucking Bernie clip was going around. It's like they use fucking still frames from Bernie's face.
Pronouns, actually. Thank you.
To like make it out like he's like weirded out.
Was suspended from a nursery after they were accused of being transphobic.
We must go into the toilets in numbers and say, we are here, we are queer.
Oh, hang on. We have an emergency here. Never mind.
Where I saw at the end of my row a biological male.
We've got the out of context clip roll at the beginning. Very nice.
Not only myself, but the other young women undress.
I was removed from my varsity girls team and replaced by a newly eligible male trans.
Yeah, so the thing about this case is like they're all fucking lying. Like she's like this is not true. They did not force a trans girl to undress in front of a bunch of cis girls. That did not happen. The school board denied sorry, not the school board. The school denies it. The school officials, and it's just a lie. It's just another lie they're shilling.
Transfer student.
A 7-year-old woman who impersonated a high schooler was sentenced to jail today.
Oh my God! It's day 1096 of being a girl. It's year 3, and that's me on a billboard in Times Square.
Can we move to the sauce?
I was misgendered. Even when I complained, saying, look, I am not a man.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Okay. Oh, what was that? You're about to sell me something on fucking Etsy or something. Or like, it sounds like you're about to tell me about your brand new website for starting new websites. Here at SydneyWatson.com, we make sure to provide you with the best services to make sure your site is the best.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by Lumen and by my company, Lions Tea Exchange. The spring/summer flavors,
How about no?
making that piece of content so at this point. Towards the end of February, I talked about the collapse of the transgender movement and all of the moving parts
It's
that
collapsing,
led
guys.
us to this point. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest going and doing so because it kind of sets the stage for this video. But since making that piece of content, so many things have happened and the explosion of this movement has only accelerated and gotten bigger. And over the last 2 months or so, I have saved so many things that I wanted to show you all that just illustrates how rapidly all of this
Just a normal
is happening.
thing.
Probably heard about this Supreme Court's
Just a normal thing I do is go on TikTok in my free time and search for cringe things to save for my cringe compilation. Very good.
on the definition of the word woman. This will have some real serious implications. It will have some consequences. But I want to tell you one thing. They can make their laws. They can specify their definitions.
Like, I'm sorry, this person knows they don't look conventional. Like, they're doing this because, like, they know when they go online that they are going to get the reactions that they get, like having all of these piercings and a silver tooth in the front and the jewelry, like, and the snapback and everything else. Like, it's a look that they're doing on purpose. Like, I don't know. Like, it's fine, but like, I know that, like, I mean, it is a little bit for the attention, right? Like, they're on TikTok posting this shit. I don't know, like, it's just funny that, like, we always have to get the people who look unconventional like this to shit on them when they're not saying anything wrong.
But there's one thing that they'll never be able to take from me, and that's who I am. I'm a trans woman, and I'm proud.
A toddler
Okay.
was suspended from a nursery after they were
Why are we going? We just watched all of this.
accused of being transphobic
Oh, we're doing 2 in a row?
or homophobic.
We're double dipping.
I just cannot believe this. The Department of Education data revealed the child is either 3 or 4 years old. AD of E, a Department of Education spokesman, said all pupils and staff should feel safe. I can't believe I'm reading this. Should feel safe and protected at school.
As I previously mentioned,
I doubt that
the
happened.
transgender movement and its weird conjoined cousin.
Are we just not going to talk about either of those clips? We're just, like, showing them and moving. Okay.
And sister, the gender ideology movement, have basically both gotten their creepy little tentacles around every single institution, whether it be political, social, or even medical. And it's basically
Unlike
created an
Christianity.
environment where
Christianity doesn't
everyday
do that.
normal people are being forced to conform to a worldview that they don't even agree with.
Unlike
We have
Christianity.
definitely
Christianity doesn't
learned
make you
over
do
the
that.
last decade or so that absolutely nothing is safe. Not women, not our spaces, not the language surrounding us, and sadly, and
You know who's not safe? Fucking trans people. Look at the goddamn statistics for how often trans people get assaulted as opposed to cis people. Like, it's insane. It's like 3 or 4 times as much. Crazy work.
even the worst of all of this,
Shut
definitely
the fuck
not
up.
kids. So having previously laid out how we got here, I wanted to spend some time showing you some of the pushback that we are now seeing, both big and small. Because it is all culminating in the explosion of a movement that probably should have stayed on Tumblr. So let's start with the biggest, most recent, and most obvious thing. In mid-April 2025, the UK Supreme Court made a definitive ruling that the terms woman
Oh yeah, I remember
and
this. Yay! Woman means people who give birth, except if they can't, then we look at other stuff around their body parts, and if we can find those things, then we'll call them a woman, even if they're not there. We'll just probably, we'll just make shit up. But women are women, right? Good stuff.
Sex in the Equality Act refer only.
They didn't actually get anything from this. What did women get from this? Oh, yay, now I can use the bathroom without trans women next to me. Except the trans women are probably fucking still gonna be there. Like, who's gonna stop them? The genital police?
Only two biological women and two biological sex, not gender ideology or gender recognition.
Trans women are
certificates.
biological women.
This was
Suck my dick.
decided unanimously by 5 judges.
We were in a really difficult place in Scotland then. We thought we were going to
It's a really
see
difficult
rights
place
for women
in here.
rolled back. And today, the judges have said what we always believed to be the case, that women are protected by their biological sex, that sex is real, and that women can now...
Protected by their biological sex? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I don't want the law being involved with, like, my body parts, except to say that they are protected and I'm allowed to do with them what I please. Which is all trans people really want, right? Like, other than that, I don't want anything specifically saying that, like, okay, thou who have penis shalt be man. Like, it's just stupid.
Feel safe.
Except if you don't, if you got castrated or if you were born without one. But like you still have other things that you the pathway, the sex pathway, whatever it's called, the new turf argument. They've gotten so good at this fucking thing, like the Mullerian pathway or whatever. Like they've gotten so good at like twisting and turning in knots to make it seem like they're correct.
That
It's very fun.
services and spaces designated for women are for women, and we are enormously grateful to the Supreme Court for this ruling.
I am genuinely so happy that women in the UK are finally seeing themselves supported. But you know, it isn't
What did this
only
do for
women
them?
who need support. Your buddy does as well.
Did it end poverty for women over there? Yeah, I bet not.
Which is why
Like,
today's video is sponsored
Have
by
crimes gone down against
Is your
women?
sleep
I don't think
kind
so.
of terrible. Yes, it is.
Wait,
How
are
did
we
you
doing
know?
another ad read?
Because you look awful. For
Fuck you.
This ruling obviously has a ton of implications, the biggest being that trans-identified males can now legally be excluded from female-only spaces. This is obviously a massive change from the absolute mess that we saw only last year, when an Australian federal court judge ruled that a female-only app called Giggle discriminated against a trans...
Yeah, that was called Tickle versus Giggle. The goofiest name of a court case I've ever heard. Tickle won. Tickle was a trans woman who felt she was discriminated against on Giggle. I think because they have an automatic... Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have an automatic face detector. So, like, it'll detect... Like, it's an AI thing that it'll detect whether you're a woman or a man. And she passed, okay? And then a moderator went in there and banned her... manually, because the automatic system didn't catch her and she's a trans woman. So she sued and she won.
identified male called
I believe that's what
Tickle
happened. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what
by
happened.
not allowing Tickle to join the
Tickle
app,
versus
the said
Giggle.
app. The judge in the case literally stated, in its contemporary ordinary meaning, sex is changeable. No, sir. No, it is not. It really does go to show that
Yeah,
so
it is.
much changes in such a short space of time. At least British women are in fact considered women again. Aussies, not so lucky.
Women were never not considered women. Nobody was saying that cis women are not cis women. Nobody's saying that. We're just saying that trans women also happen to be women. It's like saying, oh, well, you're saying black women are women? Well, you don't actually know what a woman is, do you, sweaty? Like, no, black women are women too. So are tall women. So are... I mean, just like women are women. Yeah, and that includes trans women.
Anyway, after the UK Supreme Court ruling, things definitely moved quite rapidly. We had absolutely stellar headlines like this. Rapists can no longer claim to be women.
Well, wait, what if you're... But what if you're like one of those teacher rapists who, like, rapes your students? Like, that happens sometimes. Can that person not be I mean, that person could also easily be a man. There are probably more male teacher rapists than female teacher rapists. But, like, my point is, a lot of times you'll see on the news headlines, like, woman sexually assaults her students. Like, that is that not a woman rapist? Like, women can be rapists. Like, the headline kind of gives away the game. Like, you're just calling trans people rapists, which is like Nazi shit. So good stuff.
Headlines like this. Rapists can no longer claim to be women. Well, that's a comfort, isn't it? I know on the surface this seems really dumb and like a...
So if you're a woman and you rape somebody, you are no longer a woman. You get your womanhood revoked.
Return to common sense, but unironically,
That makes
this
sense.
is a good thing, given how crime statistics have been skewed, given how many men commit crimes.
I don't
and
think that's
say
happened.
that they're women after committing the crime. I'm sorry
Prove that that has happened. Substantiate that. I don't believe you.
that it's a thing, but it is just
Prove
another
it.
symptom of how
Prove it.
icky everything is. It'll also hopefully
No evidence. No evidence whatsoever.
stop all of
Good
these
job.
stupid headlines that erroneously report that a woman committed a crime when that woman did, in fact, have some of the dingle-dangles.
See, they're not women because they're ugly, right? Because women can't have facial hair.
Also, hopefully stop all of these stupid headlines that erroneously report that a woman committed a crime when that woman did, in fact, have some of the dingle-dangles.
Like, what if this one is a cis woman? Oh, wait, hold on. Skyla? No, sorry, that's a trans woman.
Have some
Never
of
mind.
the dingle-dangles.
27-year-old woman who impersonated a high
It's
schooler
a trans
was
ass
sentenced to
name.
jail today.
Prosecutors say on December 12th, Craig emailed the Albany School District and claimed her name was instead Madison, that she was 15 and homeless, and planned to enroll herself into the district.
This is not a
That sounds like a ploy of desperation from somebody who has nothing. Like, is this person actually home? Like, I don't know their background, because if they lied about being a 15-year-old who's like, if they lied about being a 15-year-old, they could have just as easily lied about being homeless. But like, if they were homeless, like, yeah, that would kind of suck. Like, I'm just saying that, like, if that was that seems like a desperate ploy that a homeless person might do to like try to get into the system for a few years. You know what I mean?
female, in case that wasn't clear. Do you guys ever sometimes listen to the news where they're...
Wait, that's not clear. What about this person is not female? What about them?
15 and homeless, and planned to enroll herself into the district.
This is not a female. In
That
case
could be a
that
cis
wasn't
woman.
clear. Do you guys ever sometimes listen to the news where...
Like, the problem here is not this person identifying as trans. The problem here is the person trying to identify as 15, right? And try to get into a school. Like, yeah, it was wrong. I'm not, like, I don't want to sound like I'm defending the behavior, but, like, we can probably mitigate this type of behavior with, like, you know, taking care of people so that they don't feel like they have to do that to survive. I'm assuming this person did that to survive, but I don't know. I don't know.
they're referring to a male as she, and just think...
Is anybody else seeing this shit right now? Have I stepped into a parallel fucking universe or something?
We then had a bunch of females who identify as men making vaguely threatening TikToks saying that they'd be going into women's bathrooms.
Vaguely threatening? No, this is the rule! That you only say it's threatening because you know that they look like men. And they are men. You know you look at this person and you see a man. That's why you call it threatening. Because it looks like a man. And it is a man.
And making women feel uncomfortable. We of course had an onslaught of crying TikToks too. And this video where this person basically wrote a love letter to using the women's bathroom.
I love the women's bathroom. I love taking a break on a night out to spend 20 minutes in the toilets talking to girls I don't know. The tiled walls feel like momentary protection from the outside world. An equal playing field for women of all heights, weights, ethnicities, and religions.
Dude, we're just trying to pee and not make eye contact with each other as we leave the bathroom. I have been a woman...
Wait, if all you're trying to do is pee, then I don't understand the problem with letting trans women use the bathroom as well. Like, I've heard, like, she's actually... Listen, I think this kind of stuff is weird. Like, that's women's shit, okay? Like, I don't do that, and men don't do that in the bathrooms. Maybe that's toxic masculinity, whatever. But, like, we don't do that in the bathrooms. But I have heard from far more TERFs than from trans women about, like, their exploits in the women's bathroom and how sacred the women's bathroom is and how we must protect our safe space that we chatted up with the gals in, right? Like, I hear that fucking shit way more often from TERFs than I do from trans women, to be honest.
My entire life, and I have never experienced this perverse fascination with the bathroom. I hate the lines, I hate having to wait, and I hate the fact that usually there's like 3 cubicles and only 1 toilet actually works. But sure, go off, king. Then there were, of course, the protests.
See that? She called her king. She called her king. That's she really got her, didn't she?
Where
Good job.
The usual
Good job.
suspects demanded access to women's spaces.
We must take back the streets. March every single day. Stand outside the government.
They're doing their best.
You could do so.
I'd rather listen to that person than you shit stain.
Hi
Shut the fuck
everyone,
up.
I am a very proud disabled trans woman, even though it doesn't look like it. I was misgendered, and they said they had to misgender me. Even when I complained, saying, look, I am not a man, they continued to misgender me.
I am not gonna go there. I will not tempt the YouTube gods, but I think that The Office has me covered on this one.
Go where?
Person. I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow.
I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
We had trans
Okay. Do it. Fuck you.
activists losing it on live television. This individual, who is, yes, of course, a they, them, walked
I ain't stopping you.
offset after saying, I feel unsafe because on a previous episode, the host had made comments this person didn't like.
I would rather share a bathroom with 100 trans women than one legal biological woman who wants to know what's inside my pants. And Julia, if I'm right in remembering, you did ask me what my genitals look like once live on TV.
I think that was in the context of a
Ooh.
conversation, and you raised that
I remember
issue.
the quote.
Okay, but you're taking that out of context. See, when I asked about your dick and balls and how large they are and if they're soft, okay, and squishy, I've just, like, you're taking this out of context, ma'am. I'll have you know, or person.
I remember the quote, you don't have dangly bits, do you? So do you want to discuss dangly bits or not? Because
they are
frankly,
relevant, aren't
I am
they?
now feeling in a position where I'm in a room with you and I feel
feel
unsafe. Yeah.
You feel unsafe?
I feel unsafe. I feel my heart racing. My hands are starting to sweat. Do you want to touch my hand? Just do you want to clam me now? And I actually think I'm about to have a panic attack from sitting in a room with you. So I'd like to
You
leave
do?
now.
What?
Yeah. Said my piece and now I'd actually,
Sorry, I
I really
thought
like.
I mean, live on air like this, like, if you're gonna have, okay, listen. I feel like you do need to be a little bit more prepared if you're gonna be on, like, national television, you know? Like, I'm sorry. I just, like, I don't blame this person for that, and obviously they're not doing anything wrong, but, like, I do wish that they had kind of stuck it out, you know? She's just getting off on this?
I thought you were actually plugged into a mic there. I thought we were going to have a conversation. I'd like to go. You'd like to go? Okay, I wouldn't want anyone to feel unsafe being asked questions.
So the monumental freakout with
I mean, it's way worse that that person was asked about their genitalia, right? I'm just saying.
relation to this newest ruling has, of course, done absolutely nothing to help the trans movement and its weird conjoined sister cousin.
Like, here's the thing. It seems like this person was already on their show once, and if that made them uncomfortable, I would be inclined to say maybe you shouldn't have gone back on. But also, like, I don't want to judge them for that because, like, that may be the best way to get their message out. I don't know. I don't know their life. The point is, the wrong thing there was that person asking about this person's genitals, which, I mean, she never denied that she did that. She's just said, you're taking it out of context. You're taking it out of context. I believe they were making a point. I don't know. Maybe they were just making a point. I don't know. I will remain neutral on my stance about that last bit. But it is weird that the newscaster felt it was necessary to ask about that person's genitalia.
The gender ideology movement. It hasn't pushed anyone further towards the movement / ideology, and it hasn't helped anybody empathize. The threats, the tantrums, the individuals continually insisting.
I mean, like, once again, we're not even going to bring up the fact that, like, this person's genitalia was called into question. Have you ever actually thought about that? Like, a lot of people tip their hand when they try to describe like what people mean by man and woman. You know, like the average Andy might say, well, men have penises, girls have vaginas, whatever. Like, and they don't mean anything by it. But then, like, when you get into this fervent argument about, like, well, men are the ones with penises, like, when you're, like, really serious about it, you're kind of tipping your hand that, like, when you see somebody, like, one of the first things that you're trying to think about on them is their genitalia. And it's really weird. It's, like, fetishistic. It's like, why do you care about what my genitals look like? That's none of your business. Like, I can make assumptions about what genitalia I think people have, but I don't typically do that. I just, like, see the person and based on various characteristics assume they're either a man or a woman, which I think is what most people do, by the way. But, like, not transphobes. They're a different breed. They got to see the dick and balls or they won't believe you're a man, and vice versa for women.
That they should have access to female spaces and likeness has only pushed other people further away. And it's really emblematic of what's happening all over the place because, like I mentioned in the last video that I made about this, people have really had enough. Some of you might remember all the times I've told you about the politicians betraying us in order to appear more progressive and tolerant, quickly adopting dehumanizing language about women, supporting insane practices and policies that hurt women, and some of these politicians are continuing to do this, continuing to push all of this insanity today. But it has really been fascinating to watch just how many of them have suddenly flipped the script on the trans movement and gender ideology when they realized that this entire thing
Like
was
who?
falling massively out of favor.
Oh, please don't bring up, like, milquetoast fucking neo-libs.
It's
like Gavin
almost
Newsom.
like they do things.
So wait, no, I don't. Which one of those people flipped? Which one of those people flipped? AOC? I don't think so. Elizabeth Warren? Don't think so. Bernie Sanders? Don't think so. Which one of those people flipped on trans issues? I'd like to know.
Things in order to get reelected and don't stand for anything ever. Wow.
Wow.
In the UK's case,
But
when
none of those people
Prime Minister
flipped.
Keir Starmer, which I feel like I'm
You just
saying
lied.
incorrectly.
You're saying it right.
Starmer?
Keir Starmer.
Starmer.
None of those people that I know of changed their, like, there might have been, like, the first two, because I don't know. Like, one of them was the former Speaker of the House. The other one was, like, some Fox News chick. Like, I don't know their positions, so they might have flipped. But, like, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Elizabeth Warren absolutely did not. No.
Starmer. In the UK's case, when England's Prime Minister Keir Starmer was asked if he still believed transgender women are women, he answered that the Supreme Court has been clear that women are adult human females, and he welcomed the judgment.
Do you believe a trans woman is a woman?
Look, I think the Supreme Court has answered that question.
So you
and
don't
I
believe
think
a trans woman is
Yeah, but this person was not in your little, like, montage there.
Look, a woman is an adult female, and the court has made that absolutely clear. I actually welcome the judgment because I think it gives real clarity. It allows those that have got to draw up guidance to be really
Keir
clear
Starmer,
about what
what
that
the fuck?
guidance should say.
As a surprise to probably none of you, only a few short years
I know,
ago,
I knew
Starmer
it, dude. Look. Not Bill Maher. Fucking Gavin Newsom's coming up. Who's next? Bill Maher? No, Bill Maher. It looks like a Bill Maher segment, yeah. Another Gavin Newsom clip. Like I told you, like she showed all of these super progressive politicians, like who still believe that, you know, who still believe in trans rights and advocate for trans rights. And then like her evidence for all of them are flipping is like these fucking neoliberal scumfucks. Like as if we, oh wait, here's one. Wait, what about this person? This kind of counteracts your narrative, this clip does. This was a clip of a liberal politician defending a trans woman. I forget his name. So what's up with that? I'm going to skip to that.
Side of the aisle for a moment, I am noticing that more and more right-leaning politicians are also starting to act out. One clip I found that I wanted to show you all was a moment from a recent hearing where Texas Representative Keith Self, that's a good name, referred to a trans-identified male serving in government as Mr. McBride.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member
Push
Keating,
back
also
harder.
wonderful-
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, it's a We have set the standard on the floor of the House.
Now, I already know that some of you are going to find this needlessly cruel, and honestly, I can objectively understand that position. I have heard many a person argue that this type of behavior erodes overall societal decency. And while I know that most politicians are doing
It's
these
just
sort of
kinda
things
shitty, yeah.
performatively, both on the left and the right.
No, not on the left. It's exclusively on the right. Nope. Fuck you.
Don't judge me for saying this, but seeing this sort of thing play out actually feels a little cathartic. And the reason I say that
Ugh.
is because I am
Why?
a woman. I have lived my entire life as a woman. I am the daughter of a woman. And I don't believe that some person, any person, gets to put on a dress and a bit of lipstick and makeup and then demand that everybody around them treats them as a woman.
Okay, then go in the fucking kitchen and make me a sandwich. No, seriously, like if you want to show conservative propaganda, then do the conservative woman thing, get in the fucking kitchen and make me a fucking sandwich. Okay? That's what I have to say to you. Because you're on the same side as those dipshits who would say the same thing. So shut the fuck up.
When they are not one. Again, being a woman is not a feeling. It is not superficial things like long hair and makeup and dresses and high heels. It is something.
It is ovaries. We have ovaries which produce large gametes for reproduction. That is our purpose, is to reproduce. We gestate and give birth. And by you reducing it to costumes and makeup and long hair and personality and manner of speaking and walking and general occupation of your preference and personality traits and overall just like incorporating it into your personhood, like that is reducing womanhood to a costume, my friend. No, womanhood is periods and birthing. That's what being a woman is. I'm the progressive one here, by the way.
That is coded into every single cell.
And if you can't give birth, you're a broken woman, right?
Modern society wants to tell us otherwise. If you are not female,
That's the thing. Like, if you're really going to ascribe womanhood as like the large gametes or like the proclivity to make the large gametes, because we can tell that you would have if you were not broken, right? It implies that women who cannot give birth are broken. That is what the TERF argument is. You can get, if you're a woman, you can give birth. If you can't give birth, you're either not ripe yet, you're past expiration, or you're fucking broken. That's what it is.
if you are not born female, you do not know what that is like. The people who claim to know and relate to all of this and understand what it is have simply never had to go through the unique challenges associated with being a woman, especially those that are associated with...
Especially if they've known they're trans since they were like 4 or 5 years old. Like that it happens a lot.
I don't know, having female anatomy. So I find myself exhausted by all of the pretending.
See, it's all about the anatomy.
When we're doing it at very, very high government levels. So while I absolutely understand those of you who do not like this behavior and do not think it should take place, I would counter that by saying that people like the Representative McBride that we've been discussing here are participating in a movement that has actively and needlessly hurt women and girls. And
You have no evidence of that. Yeah, this fucking, by the way, this next one is proven a farce. This woman was paid off. The week prior, she beat like, she had matches against like 3 cis men. And I think, excuse me, I don't know how many. She had matches against cis men and she won a couple of them. I know that. Okay? So she beat a few cis men and then a week later she's pulling this shit. Yeah, fuck you.
I know I'm
She
not
got paid.
feeling this
She did get confirmed a payment from like a conservative group. I forget which one.
way because every time I turn
That's not a
around,
conspiracy.
I
That's
see
confirmed.
a new story about women pushing back or politicians starting to change their tune. Of course, there are politicians in Western countries particularly who cling to all of this, reading transgender children's books, fighting to change the word mother to inseminated person in legislation.
Wisconsin's Governor Evers slammed for proposal to replace mother with inseminated No, that was within the context of a law. Yeah. I remember going over this. Inseminated person is... somebody else got pissy about this. Inseminated person is literally... Like, if you're talking about law, That is the more proper terminology, because mother could also mean adopted mother. Okay? Like that's not specific. You want to be specific. The inseminated person. Okay? That is specific.
That last one is particularly asinine. Who even thought of that?
No, this is literally like propaganda right here. This is misinformation and propaganda because you're lying. This is within the context of a very specific law regarding, I believe, surrogacy. Like this is within the context of a law. Not like you can't say mother anymore. You have to say inseminated person in colloquial like contexts. No. I hate these people so much.
That last one is particularly asinine. Who even thought of that?
Fuck you.
Seriously, how much do you have to hate your own mum to think of the term
I can't watch anymore. Fuck this person. That was Sydney Watson. I don't know, like, if seeing all this stuff happening makes you want to kill yourself, then maybe you should do it. She said it, not me. Okay. I'm taking another break. I will be back. I was trying to show. Oh, excuse me.
When I started drinking warm water to help.
Hold on one sec. Katie, you done? Yeah. How you feeling? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot I haven't eaten yet. You just doing fish soup? Okay. Ugh. I'm not recommending this for stream, but clips could be gathered over the course of it compiled and done as a segment on a future stream. We proved trans women are men. Hold up. Oh Christ, it's an hour and 7 minutes. I mean, we could break it up by segment, right? Like, we could do the first 3 segments because that would be about 14 minutes. We could do a saga. I didn't see they had the segments done. Yeah, we could do like a saga. From trigonometry. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I think this would be decent content. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a go. Breaking news. Scientists have finally proven trans women are actually men. Dun dun dun. No. All we've worked for, all of our hard work for the trans community is for naught. Because alas, the scientist known as trigonometry has proven that trans women are actually men. Let's take a look at their in-depth study here. Now, this is an hour-long video. I'm not going to be watching the whole thing right now. I will just be doing the first 3 segments, which is about 14 minutes. And then we'll just make a little mini-series out of this. Okay? So first 3 segments, that'll be easy to remember. And then next time I'm live, we'll cover the next segment, maybe, if I remember. We'll see. Remind me if I forget. We'll say that.
A woman is an adult human female.
That used to be a very controversial statement.
It did,
Do you
didn't
remember?
it? Yeah, you could lose your job for saying that. They all got the law wrong.
Wait, is this literally talking about the fucking law they passed? That, like, doesn't do anything?
And have got it wrong for the past 15 years. Every single regulator, every government department, every mainstream charity all thought that being a man or a woman was a piece of paper.
So I thought that when this ruling would come out, that would be the end.
It's not. Like, they just abided by the actual definition of gender, which is that it's self-identifying, right? Like, it's like you say whether or not you're a man or a woman, and that makes you a man or a woman, basically.
Well,
or
is there still a massive fight? Maya?
Yes.
Welcome finally, Trigonometry. It's been a while. We've been meaning to have you on for ages, and now you have something to talk about and celebrate, you might say, with the recent ruling of the British Supreme Court in the case that you and Helen...
She lost her job for what? That was flashed so quickly? Wait, hold on.
Joyce,
did I miss something?
That piece of paper, every mainstream charity.
So
every single, they all got the law wrong and have got it wrong. Yeah, you could lose your job for saying that.
Researcher who lost job for tweeting men cannot change into women loses employment tribunal. Yeah, because you're just being blatantly transphobic. Like, what you're saying is not technically wrong, but if I ask you to break it down, I'm sure your answer is not going to be, well, trans women were always women. Like, I'm not even disagreeing with the content of your tweet, but based on other context, I'm sure they could figure out, oh, this person's kind of a transphobe, and then boot you from your fucking job because you're a hateful person. That's a valid reason to fire your ass. You're a hateful piece of shit. They don't want that employed in their place of work.
Finally, trigonometry. It's been a while. We've been meaning to have you on for ages, and now you have something to talk about and celebrate, you might say, with the recent ruling of the British Supreme Court in a case that you and Helen Joyce and others were involved in. So tell us everything that's happened, why it's happened, what the ruling was, etc.
So last week, the Supreme Court ruled in favour of a group called For Women Scotland, which is a grassroots group from Scotland, and against the Scottish Government on what the meaning of sex is in the Equality Act. And we, Sex Matters, the organisation that I run, was an intervener in that case. So
no, not Sex Matters.
And that was part of the winning side. There was also a group of lesbian interveners who put the case that, in particular, the definition of sex matters for lesbians.
The overwhelming majority of lesbians support trans rights and also state that they would date a trans woman.
Lesbians. And on the other side was the Equality and Human Rights Commission, so the nation's equalities regulator and Amnesty International, and they all got the law wrong and have got it wrong for the past 15 years.
And now we know
what law, where, which one was wrong?
A woman is an adult human female.
That used to be a very controversial statement.
It did,
do you remember?
didn't it? Yeah.
Okay, what's a female? It's somebody who has the proclivity to create large gametes under the right conditions. What are the right conditions? I don't know. Like it's like you break it down enough, eventually you fucking corner them. Like they can't explain what a female is. For the record, being female involves higher levels of estrogen. It involves several components as a spectrum. There's higher levels of estrogen, certain type of fat distribution pattern around the hips. Genitalia is involved. Chromosomes are involved. But like, there's a lot of elements to it, and you kind of add all of those up, and that's how you get a female or a male.
Why does the guy in the blue shirt look like what you get when you make Brittany Venti as your head of a John Oliver cloning project?
Hold on, I need to reread that. Blue shirt look like what you get when you make Brittany Venti as your head of a John Oliver cloning project. I don't know who Brittany Venti is, but I can see the John Oliver resemblance a bit. So thank you very much for $5. I appreciate that, Balthazar. Thank you.
Yeah, you could lose your job for saying that. I do remember that. You're
actually being transphobic. You're being hateful.
And it was unanimous by the Supreme Court. They said
This woman was transphobic once, lost her job, and then said, my entire life's mission now is to take rights away from trans people. Like, get a fucking life.
In law has been recognised for forever and ever. It's not controversial, it's not difficult. And then the Sex Discrimination Act in 1975 was the act that first gave women protection against discrimination at work. And harassment, or a bit later, harassment. And that was based on the clear definition of sex. And then since then, we've had the addition of...
Wouldn't that have protected everybody? The specifically the Sex Discrimination Act. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, that was probably an antiquated way of looking at who was discriminated against and why.
The protected characteristic of gender reassignment, which protects...
Like, what are they going to do? Like, okay, you get discriminated against for being a woman, and you state that. Okay, well, now we have to check and make sure that you have a uterus before we can call this discrimination against a woman. Like, that's not how that works. That's never how that worked.
Transgender people from discrimination, and then the addition of the Gender Recognition Act. And the question was, does any of that change the underlying definition of sex and the protection that women have from sex discrimination? And the Supreme Court said no. They said sex is as it always was.
Look.
Wait. Hold on.
That changed the underlying definition of sex and the protection that women have from sex discrimination. And the Supreme Court said no. They said sex is as it always was.
Well, the Supreme Court said more than that. No. That's not what the Supreme Court did. They like outlined what a woman is. And they did it they basically said a woman is an adult human female. Like that was the court's decision. It wasn't making any comments about, like, you're just lying is what I'm saying. Like you're lying. It's all the court did was say that woman equals adult human female. Which is not true. Like it wasn't explaining what a female was. It was explaining what a woman was.
Look, you've done brilliant work. You all have, and we commend you all. It takes an enormous amount of bravery. You lost your job as well in horrendous circumstances. There's a part of me going,
horrendous.
This is embarrassing.
Don't be a hateful piece of shit next time.
It's stupid. I mean, it's a stupid question, and it corrupted every single organisation. I mean, that's the thing, that the people who won this case were 3 scrappy little organisations that get called hate groups and, barely until this week could get on the BBC. And on the other side
they were hate
was
groups.
The Scottish government, the UK government, the Welsh government, every single regulator,
they still
every
are.
government department, every mainstream charity, all thought that being a man or a woman was a piece of paper, and thought you could run a country, run your institutions like that and keep people safe, and they were all wrong.
And you saw, I mean, the prime example of this was Nick.
But none of that proves that like trans women are men. Why does sex matter? What will happen now? So like this entire thing is just about the UK ruling. Right? Like that. This is really stupid. This isn't proving trans women are men. This is the fact that you call this video that, and then like the entire video is about like how you got into law that trans women are not actually women. Like that doesn't prove anything. That sets it into law. You could also set into law slavery and say that black men black people are not as are not actually people, they're property. You could do that. That's not proving that black people are property, though. It's a little fucked up to think that.
Killer Sturgeon. I think the peak of
I don't know if I'm going to watch this whole thing, to be honest.
The story of Isla Bryce and Adam Graham.
Yeah, I mean...
React to the Settlers doc?
Bryson was...
I don't know what that is.
A man, a rapist in a women's prison. But there have been several of those. And, I mean, when I started...
Okay, they always act like we take rapists and put them in prison, and then, like, we put them in a place that, like, they would be open to... Like, don't get me wrong, prison rape is a huge problem. Prison sexual assault is a huge problem.
I'm terrified for women's protection from sex discrimination being undermined, so let me discriminate against women based on sex.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for 5 tier 1 gifted subsockets, Inuki. I appreciate you. What was I saying? But I understand there's a huge problem with like, sexual assault in both men's and, well, I'm not sure how big of a problem it is in women's prisons, but I know for men's prisons it's a huge problem. But like, nobody's saying that we want to put somebody who would rape women in with women. like you take them and you put them away from people that they would have a proclivity to hurt. That seems like common sense to me. Like all they're saying is, this is just coded language for, I want that person in a men's prison so they can get raped there. That's what you want. Okay? That's pretty fucked up.
Paying attention to this in 2018, partly it was because of a man in a women's prison in England. And I thought, when I started tweeting about that, oh, well, people are going to see this. They're going to think this is mad. They're going to think, how could you possibly have a man in a women's prison? But they didn't. There were people saying, oh, the poor trans woman. Think of the poor trans woman. And all the way through this, we've been trying to say, think of the women. As soon as you say trans woman, as soon as people think about this kind of magic of transition.
By the way, another thing that gives this away is that these people do not give a flying fuck about criminals. They never have and never will. If you're convicted of a crime and you go to jail, you're a criminal, period, end of story. They don't want felons to have voting rights, etc., etc. Like, they don't give a shit about criminals. You don't care what happens to them. You just care about what happens to trans people and that they get hurt. That's all you care about.
They forget to think about the women. And, you know, why do you have women's prisons? Why do you have women's sports? Why do you have everyday single-sex services? It's to protect women from men. And
so historically, that's actually not accurate. Women's sports has a... I've actually looked into the history quite a bit. The women's sports came about because women were excluded from participating in men's sports. Like, not in men's sports, just in general sports. Like, there were some sports that would allow it, but then, like, a woman would win or get, like, second or third place, and then they would outlaw women the next year. Like, it's literally, like, they did that in, like, a couple of sports, at least. In other sport, like, there was one instance in the 1960s where a female pitcher striked out Babe Ruth. I can't remember what that pitcher's name was. She was 16 and she was amazing. And then right after that, the MLB banned women from the MLB. So the history of women's sports has to do with exclusion from sports as a whole. It was never about protecting them from the big evil ogre men who would definitely pound them into oblivion. It was always about, well, the men aren't letting us play. So, oh my God, I just fucking noticed. Oh, the fucking chromosome pin. No. Oh, that's so fucking tacky. Ew. It's disgusting. They're obsessed. They're sick. They have a fucking fetish, man. These people are fucking sick.
and enable women to be part of public life.
And I think it's a really important point that we should just double click on for a second, which is, I think in this time we've been living in where it's like, well, everyone's the same, everyone's equal, we've kind of forgotten some pretty basic things that actually...
Oh, and also we have separate bathrooms because we had separate everything, okay? We had separate train cars, we had separate pools, we had separate fucking everything. And so... the bathrooms were no different. They made the bathrooms and all the women's spaces look homey and have curtains and such because women being away from home is scary for women.
Not gonna lie, I got pretty wrecked by a cis woman in wrestling despite her being a weight class beneath me. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah, exactly, Sake Tanuki. And thank you again for another 5 Tier 1 gifted subs. And I did the same thing. Like, I wrestled girls in middle school and in high school, and I think I lost against at least one of them. Like, it happens. And sometimes sports are just co-ed, and it's not a big deal, especially at the grade school level. Like, okay, you can start having these conversations at, like, the collegiate level and then, like, the Olympic level. You know, like, you can start to have these conversations of, like, how should we split people up so that it's fair? What are, like, the athletic classes that we ought to have? Is there a significant difference between men and women, right? Like, significant enough to keep them separate. That's possible that, like, the people who research this stuff and are smarter than myself would find that, okay? I personally believe in integrated sports categories, but I'm willing to accept trans women being accepted in women's sports, okay, as an intermediate. But my point in all that is, what was my point? Fuck, what was I saying? I got way off track and then I forgot. That's ADHD for you. Oh yeah, we were talking about the wrestling thing. My point in all that is, like, it's not as vast a chasm as people make it out to be. Like, women have beat men competitively in sports before, and it has happened. It will happen again. Okay, like, it happens all the time. Women's sports are largely underfunded, undercoached, understaffed. They're abused. They're more likely to be abused by their coaches if the coaches are male. Like, there are a lot of problems with women's sports that have nothing to do with trans people. So if you actually do fucking care about, like, women's sports, there's a myriad of issues that don't have to do with, like, the fewer than 10 trans athletes in the NCAA. Fewer than 10, mind you. Okay, and it's not much different for grade school either. Turns out trans people are not very athletically inclined people for some reason. But, like, it just, like, it's not a real problem. If you really want to help women's sports, go look up the real fucking issues that they're facing.
The human beings have always known, which
trans
is
people are not one.
Between men and women. It's so physical, but it's also temperamental. It's psychological. Men are much.
Watch the Settler doc. Watch the Settler doc. Hold on. How do I even find that? The Settler doc? Is it on YouTube? The settlers inside the Jewish settlements. This? I mean, I will. Probably not on stream, but I will. I don't know if I'm allowed to react to documentaries on stream, am I? But also, it's like 2 hours. I'd have to dedicate an entire stream to that. I dare anyone to tell me why trans women get banned from chess? Yeah, chess. I saw people making a big uproar about pool. And when I tried to pin people down on like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, it's pool. They were like, well, men have quicker reaction times, and men are taller and have longer arms, and men are just physically superior in every way, and also mentally superior in every way. And it's like crazy because like what it waters down to is that women are simply not as capable as men, ever, in anything at all. Like you are simply inferior. Like women are simply the inferior part of our species. Which I find ridiculous and reductive and kind of harmful a little bit. What about tall women? They don't exist. If you're a tall woman, you're basically a man.
More likely to be violent. Not all
Think
men,
about
but
it.
there's a small subset of men who are. So why does sex matter? It's the name of your...
Yeah, good question.
Can you just break that down for us in a kind of succinct way? If people are coming to this and maybe they've never really thought about this before. I
mean, exactly, as you say, human beings are mammals. We reproduce sexually. It's an important part of our life. It shapes society. And if you forget that, then you end up...
See, she just said it. Sex shapes society. Like, that's disgusting. That's kind of gross.
Harming women. Everyone has a mother and a father. And being a mother or father is a huge part of life.
Yeah, famously, non-mammals don't have sex.
And if you try and erase those differences, and like you say, erase the differences in terms of strength, in terms of prevalence to violence, you're
There is no inherent difference between men and women in terms of prevalence to violence, not genetically. You will never convince me that there is a violence gene that men have that women do not. It is not real. It is entirely social. And also like implying that there is like a natural proclivity for men to be violent is not only harmful to men, but also to society. Because what you're saying is we need like it's the boys will be boys argument, Oh, they're just boys. Like that's just what boys do. They're violent and sex-driven, and they're allowed to do that because they can't help it, right? They just can't help it. Bullshit. We can help it. You know why? I do. Okay? And I was born with those disgusting male genes. So suck on that. If I can do it, so can everybody else.
Operating counter to reality, and you're making yourself stupid. You're making your institutions stupid. And
I am not nor naturally inclined toward violence. Fuck you.
I think people are trying to do it with good intentions, but you end up corrupting everything because so Helen, my colleague Helen, has
Never reads Twitch chat. I just read your Twitch chat. I just sat here, exited full screen, went to another tab, and searched the Settlers documentary. I just did that, and I did it for you. I need to stop doing things for Tina.
Saying that men are women is like saying 1 = 0. And if you think about any equation, what you learned in maths in school.
Nobody's saying that men are women. We're just saying that trans women are women, okay? And trans women, they're actually men. Like, no, they're not. It's in the name. Trans women. Women, okay? I mean, like, it's not rocket science. Like, once you start parsing out, like, oh, well, that person has facial hair, so not a woman. Okay, what about cis women who are born with facial hair and have facial hair, and maybe they didn't feel like shaving that day, or maybe they like their fucking beard. Like, cis women with beards exist. Okay? What about them? Oh, well, they're real women because they have other womanly features that make them women. But like men with beards are not women because they have beards. It's like, okay, you're setting a double standard. This is bullshit, and you just hate trans people.
If you take any equation and you turn 1 = 0, you're going to destroy the integrity of that whole equation. And the law is basically a set of equations. And
They're proving that trans women are men. They're doing a great job.
A big engineering
by the way.
project. You know, it's a big set of equations. So what they did was they sort of set 1 = 0 over here for for a small number of people. They said, in order to be compassionate, in order to accommodate this very small number of people, let's
very small.
say this untruth.
Oh, I'm being told that they're thriving in record numbers. I'm being told that there's a small army of quite sizable army actually of trans people being raised to come and kidnap your children and trans them as well. I'm being told that this is a social contagion taking over our populace. But then on the other side, I'm being told that this is a very small subset of the population and that they're actually not that important or meaningful. Which is it? Whichever one's convenient.
And we will say that this untrue thing is not going to harm the rest of society. We can accommodate it. But it turned out you can't. Once you say that a piece of paper or a statement or a
civil society cannot accommodate you, disgusting wretch,
piece of clothing or whatever turns a man into a woman.
Power. The law is equations, that's why famously we never argue anything in court. Actual brain worms.
Thank you very much for another 5 tier 1 gifted sub, Saka Tanuki. I agree. Brain worms is putting it lightly.
You end up breaking everything that
it's broken. Everything's broken.
And not just, people have been
trans women broke the world
since the judgment. And obviously toilets is a sort of everyday application of this. But it goes through everything. It goes through data. It goes through systems of safeguarding, how you keep children safe, how you keep bad people out, how you decide, how you...
You can specify in the data this was a trans woman. And they probably would. They probably would, because they say this was a trans woman, this was a black trans woman, this was a white cis woman, this was a like it doesn't matter. Like you can specify all of that, and they still qualify as women. And then if you want to look at the trans women demographic and see if that's like significantly different somehow, you can do that. Versus cis women, you just look at the cis women demographic. Like you can do both. There's no, if you want a cis woman demographic, we have that. The bookkeepers keep the books on that. Chill.
You differentiate between people who are telling lies and people who are not, which is important for keeping people safe.
It's not a lie.
You differentiate between people who are...
You just think it's a lie because you feel like you're entitled to know what people's genitals look like. That's really weird. You're the weird one in this equation.
Smart and people who are stupid, or people who are doing something which is trying to achieve a public goal or doing something for their own benefit. All of those things that you need to do to make big institutions work. Once you say we're going to have this lie in the heart of our institution and we're all going to have to pretend it's the truth, you corrupt everything in society.
This is useless.
Talk to us about the impact of this, because it seems to me, from what I've seen, there's still a kind of, there's still a back and forth for some reason. Like the court has ruled, but we saw these leaked messages from the Labour ministers who are basically clearly trying to work out a way how to circumvent this ruling. There's a big debate about the enforcement of all.
Circumvent it, just if you're a trans woman, continue using the women's restroom. It's literally probably still safer than the men's restroom for trans women. I'm just saying, there's no reason for trans women to not continue to use the women's restroom, even with this ruling. I'm not even saying, in terms of safety, you should use them. No, I think that it is literally safer still for trans women to use the women's restroom. What's stopping them? The genital police? What's the deal?
All of this. What do you anticipate will be the impact of this for women, but also, and I think it is important to talk about this, for trans people as well, because I think the motivations of those people who've been accommodating has been to make sure that we don't exclude people and we don't discriminate against people who are trans, which I don't think anyone in this room wants to do. So what do you...
Certainly not. Not this woman. No. She just wants to, you know, otherize them and make sure that trans women are forced to use the men's bathroom so that everybody knows that they're trans. That's really what this is all about at the end of the day, guys. They don't, like, they've personally, like, fetishized other people's genitals, and so they feel like they've been tricked. They feel like trans people are tricking them, duping them. Because if somebody's trans, that means that they don't have the genitalia that they thought you have. And they were thinking about that. And that is an important part of what they thought about you. Okay? So, like, the motivation here is literally to make it so that that you can't, like, quote unquote trick them. You know? Like, they want to know what your fucking genitals look like. And if they can't tell and they can't pull your pants down by law, and since they can't do that, as long as they have other indicators and they can tell, they're happy. But if they think trans people are walking about, well, now it gets complicated. Now they don't know what your fucking genitals look like. Now they're mad. That's what this is about.
What do you think will be the impact of
They're
this
disgusting.
when
They're
it's all said and
perverts.
done?
I mean, I think that there needs to be a big sort of re-education, de-radicalization.
Re-education.
I mean, it's not
like
difficult.
perhaps some sort of re-education camp. Yes, very good. Perhaps a conversion camp that provides therapy to these children. Yes, very good. A conversion therapy camp. I agree.
Ask your mum, go back to common sense. What's a man and what's a woman? You know, it's not difficult to understand that. But all of these institutions in society have misunderstood the law for the past 15 years. And the way that they...
I dare anybody watching this video who does not think trans women are women, leave a comment. Give me a definition, a specific... Here, let me put it this way. I'll give you a hypothetical. You put somebody down in front of me, an adult person down in front of me. They're at least 18 years of age. How can I tell? I can do any tests I want on this person. I can look at anything inside or out of this person that I want. I can do genetics tests. I can even do tests that don't exist in real life, maybe, if that's important. How can I tell that this person is a woman?
Wealth, fame, power. TERFs are Karen's final form. When you get so indignant about your fears violating your sense of self that you cause yourself brain damage.
That's a pretty good way of looking at it. Thank you very much for another 5 tier 1 gifted sub-socket, Tanuki. Yeah, pretty good way of looking at it. You're tricking me because I thought you had a goober and you don't, even though we don't know and never will have that, even though we don't and never will have that kind of relationship. Yeah, exactly. It's a sickness. It's disgusting. But anyway, what I was saying was, if you disagree with me, tell me in the comments how I could tell whether or not somebody is a woman using any tests available to me, which would be all of them. So just give me like observable traits or measurable or observable traits or characteristics that would cause me to realize this person is a woman. I'll wait.
Misunderstood the law has harmed women and girls.
And I don't mean generalities. I mean, give me something that I can look at, point at, and say, this makes this person a woman.
And they've told themselves that that's all right.
Good luck.
And so now they've got this cognitive dissonance. You know, they think they're good people. You know, I'm sure they are good people. Like you say, they did it.
We'll never get the Gunthercy reveal.
The what reveal? The Gunthercy? Oh, people have accused me of being a trans man. They'll either accuse me or I've had a couple of people try to denigrate me by calling me a trans man and implying I was born female, which does not bother me in the least, because like trans men, there are plenty of trans men who are far more masculine looking than I am. Like they got muscles out the fucking wazoo. They got nice hair. Like they're fucking Giga Chad out the wazoo, dude. Like, I don't take offense to being called trans. It never bothers me. But I have had a few people call me trans for various reasons. So, like, I'm cis. And if you don't believe me, that's your deal. But, like, I'm not showing you my junk unless you pay me. I can send you my Cash App.
In order to accommodate this vulnerable group, and they basically set the harms to women at zero. You know, they wrote it off and they said it was fine. And now we're saying to them, no, it's not fine. And women as a coherent group exist.
What's not fine?
And you need to set rules and policies that recognise that and protect them. And that's obviously coming up against big resistance. Because we're asking them to completely flip the script from saying, you know, the default is that in any women's space, women's service, women's sport, that you allow in a man who identifies as a woman. And
it's a trans woman.
And what people had thought was you might exclude them.
If it's a woman's space, trans women are included. If it is a women's space that does not allow trans women, it does not deserve to exist as a women's space. It simply doesn't. Sorry. Like, and I don't think that you can't even make the argument, oh, this is a cis women's only space. No, fuck you. What if I said this is a white women's only space? Only white women are allowed in here. Would that be okay? Yeah, I guess not, would it? Because white women don't need a fucking space of their own. Okay? If you can't allow black women in, then you don't deserve to exist as a space. Same with trans women.
If it's what they call a proportionate means to a legitimate aim, but the default is you include them. And what the Supreme Court have said is, no, they're men, basically. And that sounds mean.
Then fuck them.
You know, that is what I lost my job for, is for saying...
This is not still not proof that trans women are men, by the way.
Politely...
Hey, baby. Uh-oh, emergency. Why do you continue to do that?
Trans women are men.
It's like she can fucking tell that I'm live. Like, she gets up, she sees that I'm live, she's like, oh, never mind, and then leaves.
But if you're going to operate rules fairly, then you're going to have to say that. And there's a lot of...
Speaking of harms to people, Caitlyn Jenner still has the same shit politics she did prior to transitioning. Transitioning doesn't change their desires.
Thank you for another 5 tier 1 gifted sub, Saki Tanuki. I don't know what her politics were. I guess, like, yeah, if she... oh, yeah, no, Caitlyn Jenner, yeah. No, she was a shitbag before transitioning and also after. Like, it was never about her being trans. Like, before, I would say, he is a shitty person. Now I say, she is a shitty person. Like, being trans has nothing to do with her being a shitty person. It's just I now refer to her as the gender that she is.
Resistance to that, and institutions have been captured, you know, on this issue.
And she's also transphobic, despite being trans.
Made stupid decisions because they listen to their internal LGBT networks. They listen to external organisations like Stonewall. And they did that not because these people are experts.
Is Stonewall... Hold on. Am I stupid? Is Stonewall an organization? I thought that was just like an event. Like a historical event. Oh, the Stonewall Community Foundation? Okay, yeah, it does exist. Never mind. Big Stonewall.
But because they were frightened
of them. It's a bar? Oh.
And they're still frightened of them. And they're going to have to find their balls.
So to speak. By the way, did I mention balls and vagubas? I love talking and thinking about genitals all the fucking time, bruv.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. How do you think, though, that this conflict of interest is going to be resolved? Because, you know, if you take someone who has transitioned, let's say,
Stonewall's a charity?
Who looks feminine in every way, are they going to have to now go to a male toilet?
I mean, the trivial answer is in most places, there are 3 options. You know, most large buildings now have male, female, and unisex. So you're not...
No, you're pushing out of the answer. No. You're pushing out of the answer. What if there's no unisex bathroom? What then?
Forcing anyone to go anywhere they don't want. You're just saying, these are the places that
What if there's no unisex?
And the whole thing about the Equality Act...
Pussy response. Absolute pussy response. You cannot even stick to your own script, ma'am. Okay? Are trans women women or aren't they? Can they use the women's bathroom if they look like, act like, and sound like women? Like what you think, like what your personal mental image of a woman is? Can they use the women's bathroom then? You know, I would venture an argument that a lot of people might not think you look like a woman. I'm just throwing that out there. A lot of people might say, oh, no, I don't know about that jawline, right? I don't know, like I might see a little bit of a receding hairline here, even though it's just a widow's peak. Like, they can make up all kinds of shit about your appearance. Should they exclude you from the women's bathroom as well? Like, there's no real good way to enforce this.
Protects transgender people against discrimination. That means they should be able to
Thank you, Rocco.
obviously get a job, keep a job, be promoted, be judged the same as everyone else. You know, go to the cinema, go on a train, go on a plane, all of those things. And in order to do most of those things, you do need to go to the toilet. But you don't need to go to the toilet that affirms your gender identity. You just need to go to the one you're allowed to go to. And I think that's been the misunderstanding.
You didn't answer the fucking question. What if somebody looks like, what if a trans woman looks like and sounds like and acts like your personal archetype of a woman? And you would never know the difference. There are plenty of trans women who do. Okay? Like, this happens all the fucking time. You didn't answer the fucking question.
Of the Equality Act, you know, for 15 years, people have pointed at it and said it gives us the right.
Should trans men use the women's restroom? What do you think of that? Huh?
It gives a trans woman
big old beard
right to use
muscles out the
toilets.
ass.
It doesn't. It just gives a trans woman a right to have a job, to go to the cinema, to go to the shops, and to use a toilet that doesn't disturb or alarm other people, which is not the women's toilet, however they look. And you can't set rules.
It won't disturb or alarm anybody if they're just going into a fucking stall and pissing. Like, disturb or alarm. Okay, what if I have a body disfigurement and I disturb and or alarm somebody in the bathroom because I have a bodily fucking disfigurement that I can't help? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody's doing that shit on purpose. Like, if somebody with too square of a jaw for your liking enters the women's restrooms, tough shit. She's a woman. And you have no way of proving that she's not. Unless you would like to literally sexually assault her. Which, you know, you would probably argue in favor of. I can see that.
On, you know, somebody who looks very feminine or thinks they look very feminine. And some people, unfortunately, have... you know, not clear self-perception about how well they pass. And that's just not an argument that an employer or a service provider should be having to get
Again, a lot of people might say you don't fucking pass. Sorry.
Into with somebody, and they can't set rules that say, oh, well, you know, you look good in your makeup, but you don't. Sorry, mate. You know, that's not fair on anybody. That's not.
Sorry, I don't think her makeup looks very good. I'm not a big makeup person, but like, her makeup kind of sucks. Yeah, like it's not good. It doesn't make her look like, you can see like the fucking caked on, like blush. Like it doesn't look very good. Right? Like, even if it did look good, she's still a piece of shit. Even if she did her makeup well. I'm just pointing this out. Like, she did not do a good job here. I don't think.
What conversation you should be having. What the conversation you should be having is, you know, we have these spaces are for men and women, people of either sex. This space is for women, female people. This space is for men, male people. You know, we respect your self-expression.
What does it mean to be female?
We love you as a gardener or as a
You don't love them. Stop! Stop! You don't love them. You fucking despise them. Just say it. Just fucking say it. No, no, no. You don't love them. Oh, I love you. I love you so fucking much that I'm going to deny your rights. I'm going to tell you that you can't use the fucking pisser that you want to use because you're not born the way that you should have been. Okay? Like, oh, sorry, I need to do a genital inspection on you before you can enter this facility. But I love you, by the way. Like, no, you don't. Shut the fuck up. I hate this shit. TERFs are the worst at this. They're like, oh, I don't hate trans people, bruv. I don't hate them. I just think that they should fucking die, right? Right? Like, no, you hate trans people. Just admit it. Just admit it. Just fucking admit it. I'll respect you more if you do. Okay, I think that's the segment. So, anyway, yeah, you don't love trans people. You don't love their expressions. If you did, you would fucking listen to them and understand that trans women are women, and trans men are men, and etc. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue with this. I really did think that this would be like actual evidence of like, oh, this is why trans women are men, actually, and we have this paper to prove this, and it's like, no, they're just going off of the fucking court ruling, which doesn't prove a damn thing. So, I don't know if I'll continue with it. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, that's it. I agree. Quite a disgusting piece of shit. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to continue stream. Let me take a brief break to think about it, and I will be right back.
nothing, I get loose. Sure, beats fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it gems. Stay knuckled up in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me a box.
I return. Have you reacted to "My wife has a perfectly dry P word"? I don't think so. Metroid Prime music? I don't think anything on here is from Metroid Prime. I've never played it, so I don't know. That is like one Nintendo franchise that I never got into, is Metroid. Not for any particular reason, I just never played it. I tried playing the original on my channel, actually. You can still watch it, although I don't recommend it because it's very cringe and it's old and cringe. It was back from my Let's Play days. But if you go to my channel and search it, Metroid, yep, there it is. There it is. I wasn't like the biggest fan of the original, but it's probably just because like I didn't grow up with it. I love all the other Nintendo franchises, though. I can't think of one. Oh, wait. Fire Emblem. That's another one that I didn't get into. Fire Emblem. What else? What's the one with Ness and Lucas? Earthbound. Never got into that. Although I've heard Earthbound's very good and I should get into it, especially Mother. I'm kind of just thinking of the Smash characters now that I think about it. Let me just look at the Smash roster. Ooh, actually, this is a game I have not played on stream in a long time. Smash Bros. I kind of miss that. Okay, we got the DLC fighters. I have not played this. I have not played Persona, although that's not Nintendo. I didn't play Banjo-Kazooie growing up, which I think I missed out a lot on, actually. I played Kirby Air Ride. I didn't play the original Kirby games. I played Fox. I played Star Fox. What was the one with the dinosaur planet? I played the one with the dinosaur planet, but not any of the other ones. I thought it was really fun. But unfortunately, it was stolen from a different... Like, it was supposed to be a totally different game. I think Nintendo, like, bought it and then made it a Star Fox thing. Crystal was originally supposed to be the hero, but then they made Crystal a fucking damsel in distress. It's very sad. But I played one Star Fox game. I played Pokemon, of course. Never played the Falcon games. F-Zero. Never played Ice Climbers. I played Zelda. Primarily, Wind Waker. Wind Waker was my shit. Yeah, Fire Emblem, didn't play that. Mr. Game & Watch. I never had a Game & Watch. I don't think that's a big deal, though. I never played Kid Icarus. Another one that I would like to play because it seems interesting, but I never played it growing up. Snake's not Nintendo. Obviously, I played Sonic. Pikmin, classic. Honestly, one day I should just play Pikmin on stream. I should just play the first Pikmin. What do you guys think? Like, I used to play Pikmin a lot, actually. One of the first things I did when I started my Twitch channel was play Pikmin. It's very fun. I played Pikmin 4. I didn't completely finish it, but I got all the way up to, where you rescue Olimar. Great games. Some of the best soundtracks, especially Prime, best video game soundtrack. Maybe I should play Prime someday. Obviously played Animal Crossing. I never played, whatever Little Mac's from. I actually did play a Pac-Man game where he looks like this. I can't remember what it was called. It was really fun, though. I liked it a lot. It was like a platform, like a 3D platformer. A 3D linear platformer, I should say. Pac World, maybe? Ooh, wait, let me look this up, actually. Was it Pac-Man World? Pac-Man World? Yep, this is the one. Pac-Man World 2. There's a 2? Was it Pac-Man World 2? Yeah, this is it! Oh. Oh. Dude, I completely fucking... I forgot. I just unlocked a fuck ton of memories right here. Man, what a ride this game was. I loved this game. Pac-Man World 2. Maybe I should play that on stream one day. That'll put people... If people really want to watch... You know, there's Assassin's Creed that just released. There's League of Legends, perhaps. I hear the kids these days are playing Fortnite along with Marvel Heroes or whatever it's called. Marvel Rivals. I think what the people really want is some Pac-Man World 2. I think that's the direction we should take this company. One person slowly claps, and then other people start to join in, and the clapping gets progressively faster until there's a standing ovation. You should just play Pong. Also a solid idea. I gotta start releasing YouTube videos. They're uploaded. I just like... I gotta make a thumbnail. You don't understand. My life's hard. I have to make a fucking thumbnail for that shit before I release it. And I gotta set the title and put tags. Like, listen, this is not an easy profession, mind you. Not even when you have 2 editors. I gotta get back to the Clips channel. You've been doing great work on the Clips channel. We're up to 200 subscribers on the Clips channel. Once we get to 1,000, Guitar Rocker can officially monetize it and start leeching content from me to make
I'm
money.
so ready to embrace communism with DK Bonanza in July.
Communism. Thank you very much for another 5 tier 1 gifted sub, Stock Tanuki. DK Bonanza. I don't think I saw the trailer for that. Yeah, they like completely changed DK's design. I don't know how I feel about it. Hardest job in the world, true. It's him. It's the boy. It's very different. It's a sick looking game though. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this looks incredible. Banana. Uh-oh, the baddies. What the hell was that thing? Hold up. Look at that thing. It's like a Furby crossed with a troll. That's crazy. Oh wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Who is this? Goddamn. Listen, I'm not a furry, okay? I'm just saying. Okay, that looks incredible. That looks 10 out of 10, no notes. Like, off the trailer alone, yeah, absolutely. I could definitely get used to the new DK design if this is the quality they're going to be, like, delivering. Like, I'm not sold on it, but, like, I can get used to it. I think over time you can get used to it and it'll just be what he looks like now. Someone's whole job was to make arg noises and one banana. It looks so much like the DK arcade cabinet art. I can kind of see why they did it, because like you can see in the thumbnail over here. Here, let's just look, old versus new DK. It's funny. Probably good. Okay, I think... I can kind of see why they did it. I think the old DK design... It's kind of hard to pinpoint the exact differences, to be honest. I think this one's a little bit chunkier, a little bit more rounded, a little bit more expressive. I can dig the expressiveness. Little more friendly, like it looks a little bit more friend shaped, you know. I don't know. I could get used to it. Am I stupid? I can't really see much of a difference instead of higher quality ish. I mean, it's very subtly different. I think you can see the difference better in this one. There's more separation between like the black part around his eyes. You know, he's not like constantly furrowing his brow over his eyes. He's a little bit like less saturated brown. I don't know. I kind of like it, honestly. I kind of like it. The more I think about it and the more I talk about it, the more I like it. I think I could get used to this. Look at the DK arcade artwork. DK arcade artwork. Itchy nose. Okay. Damn, that's weird. I don't think it looks like that quite. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, it looks a little bit more like this. Yeah. I can see what you mean. The cabinet art. Yeah, it looks a little bit more like this. Yep, I can see that. For sure. What's new? Do we do more reacts? I don't think we do more reacts. I think I'm reacted out for the night. But if not reacts, then what? What else is there except react content? I think it's the original DK Cranky and a prequel. Oh, it's a prequel. Oh, okay, so it's supposed to be like a different DK then. But like, if that's the case, then like the DK, if that's the case, right? Then in the Mario Kart, in the new Mario Kart game, the current DK should look the same, but they should add like an old DK. You know what I mean? Like they should add like an original DK. Like, you know what I mean? Like there should be two separate characters in that game. But instead they're literally replacing the old DK model with the new DK model. So what you're saying doesn't quite check out. Like, the game might itself be a prequel, but they're still trying to replace the old DK model with this new one. They're not separate people. And I do mean people because like DK is kind of like sentient or sapient, I guess. Is my Twitch chat kind of not coming through? Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Okay, well now there's no chat here. Good stuff. Simian, yeah. Simian. Stupid. I've been playing far too much TCG Simulator. I opened Balatro to play it last night, but like I got an error and then I didn't fix the error, so I just gave up. Because like I downloaded a multiplayer mod and I think that mod is causing it to have errors now. But I don't feel like fixing it, so I guess Balatro is just off limits for now. I don't want to end, but I don't want to keep doing React content. But I also don't know if I want to play a game. What is a boy to do? I kind of want to crochet, to be honest. I've been doing, like, I crocheted for hours today. You guys don't understand. I was on a fucking grind set. You know? Oh, Guitar Rocker, are you still here? By the way? If you are, I did finish your present, but, I didn't know if you wanted to see it before I deliver it to you. I showed it to stream before you got here, though. So if you want to see it, I can show you. If you'd rather it be a surprise, that is also acceptable. But I thought I'd give you the choice since it's a late birthday gift anyway. Exactly 19 days late, to be exact. What else is there to do?
Wealth, fame, power. I guess she's called Nancy Mace because she repels others away from her.
Thank you for another 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Sake, I appreciate you. That makes sense. I don't care either way. No, you have to decide. Do you want to see it now or do you not want to see it now? You have to take a fucking stance right here and right now. Have it be a surprise? Okay. Will do. I can't wait for you to see it. I'm very proud of it. It looks very good. You'll love it. And if you don't love it, I'll keep it because I love it. What do I feel like doing? Chat. Help me out. I quit doing TikTok debates partly because I got banned for a week. But then like a week passed and I was like less interested. I just like... I get in moods where I want to be really confrontational with people, but then like a week or two will go by and I'll just be like, fuck, like why do I want to talk to such imbeciles? That feeling of being proud of your own creations? Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm very proud. I'm working on this is going to be Evan's present. It's going to be a penguin Pokemon called Ice Q. It has an ice cube for a head. That's why it's called Ice Q. I kind of do. You know what? Actually, that Oblivion remake is kind of sounding very attractive right now. I'm kind of into it. I've heard it's very good. I love me Elder Scrolls. I played Skyrim, and that's it. I played all 3 versions of Skyrim. And that's pretty much Elder Scrolls pilled me. I would love to play the Oblivion game. Can I actually get that now? The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. $50 dues. Let's take a look.
I was born 87 years ago. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era, and the final hours of my life.
It looks pretty fucking good.
I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see.
Wealth, fame, power. You haven't lived until you've 100% ed Elder Scrolls Arena.
How dare you interrupt this fucking trailer. Thank you very much for another 5 tier on gifted subs. Elder Scrolls Arena? I've never heard of it. I tried Elder Scrolls Online. It was in its beta testing, and I got chosen to help beta test it. And I wasn't into it. Like, I didn't like it. Wait, is Oblivion hell? Yeah, kind of. Basically, yeah.
This is only the beginning. Worse is yet to come. Looks clear.
The time of cleansing draws nigh.
Who now will save us from the coming darkness?
The main character, me.
Here you must find your own path.
Remember the Emperor!
Elder Scrolls Arena is the first game. From 1994? Oh no.
Find him. And close shut the jaws of oblivion.
Wasn't the original a fucking like text adventure? Like you type commands and then it registers what you said, and then it's like you go toward the monster, you smack it for 13 damage points. Like, it's just a text entry thing. Whiterun is calling to me. Same here. Whiterun, I feel like, is most people's home base in Skyrim. Maybe that's my bias, but like any time that I made a home base outside of Whiterun, it felt wrong. Like I made one in Solitude once, and Solitude is the nicest fucking house you can get. Okay? Riften's my go. Riften's another good choice. Riften's very good. I'll accept that. But I think Whiterun is where most people made their home. Riften is very good, and also I will say that it has one of the nicest houses that you can actually buy. I did like, now that I think about it, I think Riften might be my favorite. But I stand by my original point that most people make Whiterun their home. I tried making it in Solitude. It felt so wrong. Like, it felt so wrong. I tried making it. It felt a little bit less wrong in what's the home base of the Resistance? What's their home base? What city is it? I forget. With man, I can't remember fucking any of their names right now. I can't even remember what their titles are. Like, it starts with TH. I'm usually an Argonian, so I like splish splashing in the water in Riften. My first one was Argonian, because I thought Argonians looked sick. Thanes, yeah. Jarls, thank you, the Jarls. Jarl Ulfric. Where is Jarl Ulfric? It's not, so Solitude's the Imperials. Jarl Ulfric was in charge of Winterhold, right? Winterhold? It was Winterhold. Which was also like a big city. But like that one always felt weird. Both Solitude and Winterhold feel weird for different reasons. But Riften, I think Riften might actually be my favorite home. Now that Squidney brought it up. Whiterun's a close second. I can't really think of any other places, to be honest, that I would have preferred to make my home. I think those are the big two. Gosh, should I get this? Gosh, do I have enough space to get this even? $72 gigs free? How many gigs is this? Fuck it, I'm getting it. Fuck it. I want it. I want it. $118 gigs. Fuck. I gotta get rid of videos. The things I do for you people. You know how much fucking space I take up on my computer for content for you heathens? I'm just throwing that out there. Should I okay, real quick, because I'm looking at it. Should I re-upload? You guys are who was here for that debate that I did with those tankies on the Twitter space? Who remembers that? That was a long time ago. It was like I was asking them, what would you do if you had a heart attack? Anybody remember that? Because like they were saying like they don't trust doctors. So I was like, you have a heart attack right now. What do you do? Who do you call? I still have that debate saved. Unfortunately, I had to get it removed from YouTube because of because some dumbass on the other side said, you know what, the gays, the K word, the gays. which I cannot say in sequence. I can say the word kill, but I cannot say those words in sequence without getting demonetized or booted off YouTube. Wonder if I should re-upload that. Anyway, let me get rid of these videos. I gotta... Okay. Surely that freed up some space. Oh. 148 gigs free. This is 118 gigs. 148. 118. Guys. I think I can download this. Hell yeah. User agreement. Is it installationing? "24 minutes? Oh. Oh, fuck. 34 minutes? Oh, well, this is going to take longer than I anticipated. I thought it'd be pretty quick. Up to an hour. Really? 24 minutes, I'm lucky if I can download things in the same day. Jesus Christ, what kind of internet do you have? Dial-up? Ugh. I'm gonna play the shit out of this, probably. I played this shit out of Skyrim. Yeah, that's gonna take a minute. Yeah, I can't play it tonight. Oh well. Alas. Maybe I should pause it and do something else. Should I get off? I do have work in the morning. What else would I do? I've run out of tricks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let me take another break. I'll make an executive decision. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have not made a decision. Unfortunately. Excuse me, unfortunately. React to Maple Forest trailer? What is that? Got hiccups now. Excuse me. Maple Forest Kickstarter trailer? Jeez. One day the fox, a brave adventurer, came across a certain island on his travels. The island was lush and beautiful, with dense forests, tall mountains, sparkling waters. And the fox was content to spend weeks exploring it. Oh, jeez. The island seemed like a paradise, but... jeez. Maple Island is sinking. It would take a true hero to save it. The brave fox's face was resolute. Tell me what I need to do. Looks like a Zelda-like adventure. Yeah, definitely Zelda inspired. Yeah, Link's Awakening, yeah. Big boy. That was a big chungus. You have a sword? Then you must be an adventurer. So cool. Kawaii. She's cute. That's a very good design. Whoa. This is crazy. Fish! Big fish. That was crazy. Oh, there's more, there's more. But wait, there's more. With your kind support, Maple Forest launches summer 2025. That's pretty sick. Looks great. Excuse me. Jeez. Good stuff. I wanted to keep watching Water 7, the Water 7 arc of One Piece with my wife, but alas, she had more important things to do, like work out. How dare she? And I said, we'll do it after you work out. And she said, I have to go to bed after I work out. And I said, fine. 'Cause apparently you need sleep, I guess. Starting on the Wano now. On Wano now? Nice. Finally, Wano. Excuse me. Jeez. I really did want to become like a One Piece, like either theorizer or like content analyzer. Like, I started another channel called Relucent Silver, wherein I was supposed to have created One Piece analyzing content pieces, like video essays and such. But thoughts on Berserk? I only ever watched the like newer adaptation of the original like story. Like there's like the anime, like the newer anime version. I thought it was good. Like I just thought it was kind of weird also. So like, you know, I don't have like a good scope of analysis on that. But what was I saying? I was saying One Piece. Oh yeah, I was supposed to have like done like one of the things I want to do. So like for instance, there's this guy. What's this guy's name? Let me see if I can find him. David. Let's see. Yeah, this guy. If you don't know who this guy is, Squampopulous. He started like not that long ago, like within the last year, and he's popped the fuck off, and for good reason, because he has very, very good videos. Squampopulous is great. So I watched his like fight analysis videos, like fly swatting. Like I'll give you a little peek.
Weak loser, fly swatting. If we know the strong character is going to win, how do we keep a fight interesting? I think fly swatting is probably the most common type of fight scene. Writers love having strong characters, and what better way to show off a character's strength than by having them make light work of weaker characters. Unfortunately, I see some common issues in these types of fight scenes that make them feel unbelievable, unnatural, and sometimes just plain boring. Today I'll analyze good fly swatting fights so we can hopefully learn how to do them right. I'm going to include spoiler levels out of 10 for each fight, so you don't have to worry about getting spoiled.
So anyway, he does like these videos about these different fights, like, and he categorizes them as like David versus Goliath, as there's David versus Goliath, fly swatting, what's the third one? Hold on. He's got a video on all of them. Okay, it's fly swatting, underdog, toss-ups, and all-star. So it's fly swatting, underdog, toss-up, and all-star. Now, toss-up and all-star are basically the same thing, except all-star, you have two characters who have been built up to be like the absolute strongest since forever. For instance, Gojo here and Sukuna. That would be an all-star matchup. Make sense? So like he analyzes all of these different fights and like categorizes them as such, and it's really good. And I would love to do something like that with just One Piece fights. I would love to do that with just One Piece fights, because like he doesn't have any on One Piece. Sukuna these nuts. Did you listen to anything that I just said? I'd like to get caught up on One Piece before the end of June. It's a decent goal. You probably could. At least the anime. If you want to get caught up on the manga, might take a little longer. The manga, once you get caught up on the anime, though, the manga won't take you that much longer. Yeah. I should probably hop off. I'm getting sleepy. I don't want to. Oh, I want to keep going, but I'm too sleepy. I can't do it anymore. I gotta let you guys go. Nekosaurus is live. We can raid into Nekosaurus. Okay. We'll be raiding into Nekosaurus. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you all very much. I hope you all have a great night. And I will see you all on, presumably, Friday. Unless something comes up. But it should be Friday. Take care, everybody. Oh, yeah. Sorry. This is awkward. I got to, for the YouTubers, I got to do a thing. Bear with me. Can you please cooperate? There we go. Okay. It's happening. Later, y'all.